Hello guys, thanks for joining me tonight. Another Friday night stream and back to normality now. I'm wearing a polo again. It's not too hot at the moment. Brilliant, nice and cool. Not too cool, but just right, just nice. Good to see you all in. 120 straight in. Hi to the two spanners in the background, Damon and Franco. Glad you guys are in tonight. Good to have you in. And it looks like we've got the usual crowd in tonight. Do you like that? The new format for the start, the little 3-minute intro there gives me a chance to put a few messages up before we actually go into it. And I don't know if you noticed there, but the caricature of me sitting next to me was Nat the schemer, Nat the scheming bar girl. That was her right there. Okay, so a new name there. I don't know if it's a new person. A monger with a bottle of Viagra. Fakehead. Oh, okay, so you changed your name. Fakehead here, ready to party. Let's get the show on the road. Stinger, how you doing? I haven't made up my mind about you, Stinger, because you know this thing with the super chats, and you might start a channel, and you kind of go back and forth. So I'll keep an eye on you tonight. Martin Ryder, usual stuff. Yeah, good evening. And I'm going to change the format as well a little bit, because what the feedback I've got from people is not right now. I'll try and say hello to everybody now, but the feedback I'm getting is when the stream really gets going, when we've got a good 300-400 people in, I'm reading out messages that were left half an hour ago, you know, and they're probably not relevant. Sometimes the guy's probably not in the stream anymore. By the way, I've got a new microphone tonight, so I hope that's all coming through loud and clear. But what I'm going to do, I've spoke to a few people about it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to concentrate tonight. Once I've said hello to everybody, I'm going to concentrate on the later comments. I've got a button here that says latest comments, so I can just click on that and it will go past. So I am going to miss some comments. Apologies right from the get up and go. But that way, anything that I answer, if somebody writes something and I talk about it, it's going to be relevant to then and not half an hour ago. You know, I've had complaints from Franco this week, so I've got to be careful with that. But let's whiz through. Let's say hello to everybody. Let's whiz through it as we always start off. We'll put them up there. You can see the currencies are starting to do quite well against the Thai baht now. It's all good. It's all good. So let's say hello to everybody. Let me have a quick check down here, make sure everything's okay. Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. Right. Okay. Right. Who's in? Let's have a look. Right, we're Stinger, yeah, Martin Ryder, Brian Street, how you doing, Brian? Decam O'Mara, is it? Hope I pronounced that right. Hi, how you doing? Ryan Seeger, a few from Brian there. James Casey, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. Leeds, Marshall 127, Gemini Star, Asef Shayak, how you doing? Mark P, Shin Rana, how you doing? Javier Lopez, good evening, guys. I hope everyone is ready for an awesome live stream. Yeah, and what do I always say at this time of the night, guys? It's not going to be a long one, right? It's not going to be a long one. Matthew Cartwright. Okay. Okay. Anybody got a thumbnail of the girl? That girl, the thumbnail. A lot of people actually left comments saying, wow, that's the best one I like. I'm not into big coconut. She was lovely. She's actually a very, she's quite a popular model in Thailand. She's not a bar girl or anything like that. She's a top model, but she's lovely, isn't she? Who else we got in here tonight? Did I mention you, Martin Ryder? Yeah, you're talking to someone else there. To be, not to be, how you doing? Right, Red Pill Denmark. Hello, all you handsome men reporting from Mongering under the leadership of the ground. Oh no, I don't know about that. Who else we got? Hugh Jazz. Hi, Martin Blunston. Good evening to everybody. Mark McCormick. How you doing? Dutch Farang, as always. How you doing? I hope you're the real Dutch Farang, because we had an impersonator in last week. Kev Mac, how are you? Windows open. Who else? A lot of multiple messages. Yeah, hi, Matthew. I see you're in. Good to see you. Mr. Superstar, morning from Perth, Australia. No name, Peter. You think you'll be able to handle the weather there long? I've done it before, no name. I've lived in Thailand multiple times. You get accustomed to it. And the thing is in Thailand, hi, Damon. The thing is in Thailand, when you live there, I mean, obviously there's air conditioning everywhere. So, you know, here when we had 40 degrees, there's no escaping. There's no respite unless you've got aircon, and most of us haven't in the UK. You know, what happens? 40 degrees. Last week it was 11 degrees hotter than Bangkok. So if you've been walking down Sukhumvit and you think, God, this is hot, imagine putting 11 degrees on top of that for guys who live outside the UK, 11 degrees plus, and we've got no air conditioning. It was pretty hardcore. The thing is, you've got no respite from that. You wake up, you know, I was up at 7 in the morning. It was hot. By 4 o'clock, I felt like a butter basted turkey in the oven. I mean, it was terrible. But to your question there, I've lost the question, but you said, will you be able to handle? Oh, there we are. No name. Yeah, absolutely. Because you when you become accustomed to it, you're acclimatized. And secondly, when you get to the point you think, oh, I'm getting really hot, you can always nip in a mall. Or that's one of the great things about going out in the entertainment areas in Pattaya and Bangkok. You go around a few open beers and you get to the point you think, oh, I'm really sticky, I'm really hot. Nip into a go-go bar for one, the air conditions. It's really nice. Right, someone's giving me a super chat. Let me say, Citizen Mikey. Thank you, Citizen Mikey. First one of the night. Hi, Peter. When is your next book out? I don't know. We're Andrew and I are working on it. Andrew Hammond, who did the editing for me. I've only just brought the first book out. It's going okay. I'm not going to be on any bestseller lists, that's for sure. But it's doing okay. I'm happy with it. Okay, we've got Del Boy in. We've got Andy on tour, Broken Dreams. Let's get rid of that. I know you can look them. You can look them up yourself, can't you? The current. Somebody actually wrote to me once and said, "Why do you bother putting them up? We can look it up ourselves." Yeah, but most people don't bother looking it up, and you see it and you think, "Oh yeah, that's what it is today." I'm going to keep putting them up. Right, Marvin Northhouse, you sound great. Okay, great. I bought this new mic. You won't believe this, right? It's nothing to do with Thailand. I've got a whole bunch of mics over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm always buying mics, cheap mics, decent mics. I want to try and get it just right. And I bought a mic off eBay for $4.99. $4.99, right? And I got it. I thought, well, that'll be crap. And I bought another one that was £25. Okay, and they both arrived today. And guess which one I'm using? Yep, £4.99 off eBay. The one that cost £25, it's in an envelope and it's on its way back to the seller because it's absolutely crap. Right, Chris Crindo, get a portable AC unit. It's Rex air in the house. Yeah, do you know? Well, people buy air conditioners and they're not real air conditioners. They buy these things from Argos and you have to put ice in them. They're not real air conditioners. I'm not suggesting that's what you're suggesting, but those what they call air conditioners, you put a block of ice in it. It lasts 6 hours. You've got to put more ice. You might as well just hang frozen bottles of mineral water from a fan. It's exactly the same. A real air conditioner, which you can get portable ones now, but they're actually heat exchangers. Okay, they just do it the other way around, and you've got to have an outlet from a window. A friend across the road of mine's got one, and he has a special thing. You open the window, and this thing clips on it, and it's a real air conditioner. He has it in his lounge, and he said it's brilliant. But I'm selling up. I'm going to Thailand. There's no point. Cost him £300. I haven't got an issue with the money, but there's no point for the short time I'm going to be here. It's up to you. Thank you for that. I'll tell you what I'm going to put these super chats towards now. I've actually decided to invest in some real good kit. I looked at the GoPro website last night. Now, I don't know if you know this. Apart from the live streams, I'm obviously using a camera, half decent camera there. The software only allows me 720, an output 720, but the camera's 1080. But I'd have to pay another £300 a year for this software. But I think the quality is not too bad. But every story, every 10 things about Thailand, I've done them on that. It's a Samsung, I don't know if you've got a cover on it. It's a Samsung phone and it's been great, but I've decided to up my game. I'm going out to Thailand. I want to do some real proper good shots on a motorbike out and about. And I'm going for a GoPro 10 with some gimbals and some G-clamps for a motorbike and everything. The whole lot of kit is going to cost me about £500. And anything I get coming in now, I'm going to put towards that. I'm going to call it the GoPro, the GoPro, what do you got? I forgot the bloody name of it now. That would have come out so smoothly, wouldn't it? But, I'm not going to do any begging. People don't like that. But I'm just saying the money isn't going on the beers for a while now. They're going on the GoPro fund. Okay. It's up to you. Thank you for that. Right. Okay. Enough of that. Brian says, my local stumbling morning, night, too noisy. I quite like those bars along there. Stumble's not bad. Jan K, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. We'll put a bit of a naughty one up later on, as always. Davil Champ, 3 years wait. Great to get back to Thailand. Somebody was telling me tonight, well, I say somebody, I was talking to Andrew Hammond, and he was reading somewhere that the, let me just put that up. Who's that? Kinox. So what do you, Peter? I'm starting the night shift. I'll catch up with you later. Okay. All right. Apparently, there's going to be a mass of people going to Thailand around October because the flights are so sort of hideously, I can't get that word out. The flights are expensive now for August and September. You got the kids breaking up. A lot of families going back to Thailand. A lot of families in Thailand coming back here, and people just don't want to pay the extra. And a lot of people have said, sorry, I'll wait till October. Like me, I wanted to go next month, and I was getting quoted. I think the cheapest one I got, because I'll only go direct, the cheapest one I was getting was about £1,300 up. I think they're over £2,000 economy now, and you can look that up. I mean, I'm not, I'm not making it up. You're pretty much looking at a couple of grand. I paid 705 on Thai Airways. I could have gone 625 on Eva Airways, but I told you last week why I did it. And but I'm going in October, for 2 months, and I think there's a lot of people going in October. Right, let's get down to some of the later comments here. Ray Sharp, when are you leaving? Ray's from 1980 Stories. When are you should that be reading or leaving? Let me put that up there. Look, when are you leaving? Ray from 1980 Story. Okay, I think you mean when am I heading out to Thailand? Like I said, first of October. Welcome till Ken. Okay, yeah, all right, well done. You'll be able to do that after a few beers. I'm just checking on here because there's something not here that's not normally here. Yeah, okay, we're all right. We're okay. We're going to be talking about all things Thailand tonight. Something else I'm going to cut out a little bit now, guys. I always do the clips. Like last week, I had that woman on the rowing boat and the big girl who said, "Get me the discos." And I do a lot of adverts and clips. I'm going to cut all that out now because I want to just talk about Thailand. I want to engage with you guys. I want to talk about some serious matters as well. We'll still do the competition. But I want to kind of get away from that a little bit now. I'm gearing up for Thailand. I'm going to get the equipment, as I say, I'm going to go in a different direction now. Right, Martin Ryder, any news on your house? Nothing, Martin. It's just not, the market's just not there. I mean, I spoke to the estate. I haven't had a viewing for 2 weeks. So what I've decided to do in the meantime, I thought, well, I've finished work now today, last night, actually. So I'm completely free now, can concentrate on YouTube. What I've decided to do now, I'm going to spend as much time in Thailand because I don't have any commitments. So what I'm going out on the first week of October. I'm going for 2 months. I'll come back for December. Then I'll go out again in January for a couple of months. But the problem I'm facing is I'm not rich, so I can't. If I went out to live in Thailand, I had no outgoings here in the UK, I'll live very well full time. But the problem is, I can't. I have to pay my bills while this house is here. So I've got, council tax is £200 a month. I've got my energy bills, which is about the same, a bit more, water bills, internet, all the rest, that comes with it. So, I have to pay them static charges. I also, and vehicle tax, insurance, all the rest of it. And then I've got to pay for flights back and forth. I've got to pay for my time out there. So I'm going to try and manage it as best I can. But what I've decided to do this trip, when I go out, I'm going to have a dress rehearsal and try and do it on a real budget and make an effort. So it doesn't mean I'm going to be a cheap Charlie. I'm not going to spend any money. I'm going to have a good time. But, when I go out there on vacation, on holiday, I don't think about money. But what I'm going to do this time, for instance, an example, normally if I'm in Bangkok, I want to go to Pattaya, I'll jump in an aircon taxi, 1,500 baht. I'm down there, same coming back, 3,000 baht. What's that? It's about £75, something like that, right? What I'm going to do, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to Edgamaya bus station. I'll get the blue aircon bus. It's like a coach. It's 180 baht each way. I'll save 2,500 baht. That's an example. You can do lots of things like that. I'll stay in smaller hotels and I'll eat very, I don't really want to go into too many go-go bars. And I'm going to do I'm going to do 50% kind of expat living there, 50% vacation. Just give it a trial run and see how it goes. Where are we? Happy as Larry. Greetings from extremely busy Bangkok. Next stop, Pattaya, Monday. Great to see you, Peter. That's funny because somebody sent me a message today. I think his name was John. He said it was very quiet, but I can't imagine Thailand's quiet at the moment. Okay, right. Is that double oi soy 7? How you doing? Kevin 12364. Hi. Austin Powers. Let's have a look. Selling your house ain't going to make you rich. Well, I can tell you something. You're absolutely right there because I'm giving 80% of the money that the sale. Let me just say, Kev, you're in Northampton. Yeah, hi to you in Northampton, just up the road, 8 miles away. Yeah, selling your house isn't going to make you rich. I'm not selling my house to get the money and live for the rest of my life out in Thailand. That's not the point. The reason for selling the house is because my wife and I are splitting up. So obviously we have to get rid of the family home. But I'm actually being quite generous because I'm giving her about 85% of the money that comes in because I want to take care of her and my daughter and make sure they're set up. And I'm going to take, a relatively small amount out of it through choice. So no, I'm definitely not doing it to get rich. Kevin Lampard, sorry I'm a bit late. No problem. Tom Yum Guy, the GoPro is, it's really good. Electronic stabilization, not as good as gimbal. Look at the DJI Osmo Pocket on YouTube. I want to go for the GoPro. I'll tell you why. The GoPro 10 is a lot better than even the 9, the 8. I watched a lot of YouTube videos I watch YouTube videos on all the gimbals, the stands, everything. Bob, I'll get back to this. Bob J, hi. He's winding me up now. Bob J has just sent me a £50 super start, right? Super chat. Very generous, Bob. And he's winding me up now. I'll tell you why. We had a conversation on the phone today, and we were talking about super chats. He never super chats me. He's not a member, and I'm going to meet him he lives in London. I'm going to meet him in Thailand, and we're going to go from here. And he said, "Oh, I don't like giving you super chats. I'm going to buy you a meal in Bangkok." Well, you remember that story? The guy said he was going to buy me lunch, and he threw $100. I kind of half joked to Bob and said, "No, forget the meal," And I thought he'd misconstrued it, took it the wrong way, because he suddenly got a phone call in, but he assured me he wasn't upset. And now he sent me this £50, which is very generous. So, Bob, thank you very much, sincerely. And you know where that's going. I'll put that up there for everyone to see. That is going to be the first contribution towards my GoPro. So when you see me in Thailand with my GoPro camera, you can say, I bought a little bit of that little bit I bought, right? Okay, Bob, thank you very much for that. Right, and now I forgot what I was talking about. That always happens when super chats come in. Philip Weinberger, how you doing? Good, man. Randy, how you doing? I hope you don't mind me using your real name. PA Comanche, hello from hot as hell Kansas City. Thailand is cooler today. Yeah, with the weather, somebody told me, now quick scratch of the hooter. Somebody told me that Australia is -3 degrees in parts. I didn't think Australia ever got cold. Oh, that's water. We don't mean to go on with the water. Got the box down there already. Okay, where were we? Yeah, Randy, it's hot as hell, is it? Yeah, I don't know. Do you have air conditioning in your house? If it's a regular thing, I would imagine you do have. Okay, let's have a look. Let's get some of these newer ones again. Okay, look, someone else said thanks. Damon's a wingman now. He's a back spanner boy. He keeps all the bad boys out, and he's saying thanks as well. So thanks for that. Yeah, Chris says. Chris Jason says £50. That GoPro is coming. Oh, that's what we were talking about. You're right, Chris. Yeah. No, with the GoPro 10, I'm not going to turn this into a technical discussion because you guys are, you want a bit of manga talk. We've got the manga minute come out. And Bob, in the manga minute, the first one, I was thinking of you, skinny but quite a lot of tattoos. See what you think later on. Yeah, there are a lot of different cameras out there. I've looked at a lot of them. I think the GoPro 10 is the one for me because it's a big difference between the 9, the 8, the 7. It's technology. They improve on every model, and you've got this stabilization. Damon sent me a clip. He's on his motorbike and he's mincing it up going into a turn at 100 miles an hour, and the camera's stable. And that's a GoPro 8. The GoPro 10 is even more stable. The features are so simple to use. I've looked at lots of videos, and a lot of the film I want to do when I'm in Thailand, I want to do on a motorbike. When I go to Hua Hin, a lot of guys haven't been to Hua Hin, and I don't want to walk down the street with a selfie stick. I want to get it on the bike, have stabilization. I want to ride around where all the bars are. And yeah, hi Franco, I see you there. Just put that up in a sec. The problem is when you're filming, if you go down a street of bars and you want to film it at night, as you walk down with your camera, all the girls are going to look away, right? With a GoPro, you can have it on your handlebars and you can turn off the screens and you can ride your bike slow, set it up before you go, and you can voice over it. You have to cut the sound out because of somebody else lost their channel last week, didn't they? You have to make sure the music doesn't come across, but it's got all the things going for it. So that's the way I'm going to go. Right, let me see. Where are you, Franco? That hasn't come up on here yet. This is a bit slow catching up. So Franco De Rosa, I am here, been here for a few months. Okay, you've been a member for 15 months now, actually, Franco. Right, I'll tell you what I've decided to do with the Sundays because you'll want to know. I might do a stream this Sunday just for a laugh. What did I say that for? Just for a laugh. I might do a stream this Sunday because I enjoy the Sunday casual stream. 7 o'clock, couple of hours, few whiskeys, no problem. So I might do this one this Sunday, but I had to have a think what I'm going to do, whether I do one every week or every other week, or whether I cut the Sundays out, or whether I do the Sundays and cut the Friday. What I've decided to do, a lot of people ask for a long time, why don't you have a members stream? So I think I'm going to do what some of the others do, not right now, but I'm going to encourage people to go for the cheaper membership. It's a £5, $4.99. And what I'll do on a Sunday, I'll start the stream for half an hour for everybody. And then 30 minutes into the stream, I'll turn it into a members only stream. And the idea of that is you know, people who just want to come along and watch the stream, don't want to give anything towards the channel, that's fine. You can come along on Friday. We do what we do here. But Sunday, I'm going to earmark for the members. There'll be a half an hour for the, you know, for you guys. And then, you know, if you think a $5 a month is too much to come into a member stream, then, you know, just stick with a Friday. But I think that's what I'm going to do, because I'm not an e-beggar. But on the other hand, on the other side of the coin, I'm going to be living in Thailand. I will be not totally relying on income from YouTube, but it is a big help. And anything I can boost income-wise will help me a lot. And I'm being totally honest with you. And why not? Who doesn't like to make a few quid, right? I'm not going to, you know, put it any other way. You got them going now, Bob Stringer. This guy was going on about. He left a comment. His first comment was, "Wow, why do people send in money? Not just for me, for everyone." He was going on about starting a YouTube channel, but why can't you say? I mean, you know, I've known Bob quite a while now. He's not just some random guy who's come in and sent 50 quid. I talk to him on the phone regular, and like I say, he's teasing me a little bit now because of what happened today. Right, okay. So, Mr. Superstar, what are you saying there? Right, I have a GoPro 10p, a seamless footage, even mounted on my car, highly recommended. Yeah, and the other thing I like about it, I'm 62, I'm not really a techie, so I'm going to keep it standard settings. You know, best stabilization, standard format. 10. I'm not even going to do 4K. I'll do 10080, so I get more footage on the SIM card. And yeah, for a guy like me, you know, you turn it on and point it and go. It's perfect. Much better than a phone. Right, let's have a look. Right, Andrew, oh boy, how are you? You're putting me to shame. I've got a GoPro 7, which is brilliant. Yeah, well, the thing is, Andrew, right, hang on, we've got a hidden one here. If you want to know more, you could always perform on show. Yeah, very good, David Craig. Boom, boom. Right, thank you, Franco. You did the right thing there. Yeah, the thing is with the GoPros, they're all good. I mean, I was talking to Franco today, and Franco actually said, I've got a GoPro 4. And I said to Franco, I said, look, you know, hang on to it, Franco, because he didn't offer me, but maybe he was going to. But, you know, the difference in technology, some of the things like the GoPro 9 and the GoPro 10, it's just, they're a world apart. You know, they just come on leaps and bounds. And, you know, I've never had one before. Why would I want to go and buy an 8 or a 7? If you've got a 9 and a 10 comes out, then hang on to your 9 for a few years, no problem. But I'm not going to go back and buy a 9 or an 8 or a 7 because 10 is the latest model, isn't it? Right. Okay, Randy says Randy's fine. That's good. Okay. Right. I hope I can pronounce your name. Ismali Faram. Hello from Sri Lanka. I had a Sri Lankan girlfriend years ago. It was when I was in Dubai. I can still remember her name. Lovely girl. Her name was Hema Mali, and she flew for Emirates. She stayed in the Hyatt Regency. They had a place called the Galleria, and I was there as well because I was working in the hotel. But yeah, she's a lovely girl, Hema Mali. Yeah, long time ago. Right. Right, okay, Franco says, Thailand bound, you forgot to mention Paradise Life Super Chat. Did he, where's that then? I actually missed that. Let's have a look. Let's go back up. Because I always like to put them on screen. Right, there's Bob's. Paradise Life. I thought I mentioned that. Yeah, GoPro fund. Yeah, okay, yeah, and you're quite generous. You always do. Thank you for that. And thank you, Franco, for reminding me. Right, I don't think I can do a private chat to you. I'm going to try this for Franco. We were talking about this, but I've just sent. I don't know if that's going to come out. I don't know. You let me know if you see that, Franco. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Damon might be able to see it as well. I just put AAA. Right. Okay. Yours travels, Peter. Let's have a look. Don't believe the hype about the 10 being miles better than the 9. It's not. It's only a small improvement year on year. The 7 here, 7 back is still outstanding. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying it's like going from black to white. All I'm saying is 10 is the latest model, and it's bound to have some features. It actually has got one, and I can't. It's not. I can't remember. I can't remember. Well, yeah, it is. You can do a compare on their website, and the 10 has got something that is double the something, if that makes sense, of the 9. So yeah, there isn't much in it, but there isn't, you know, I just don't want to go buy an 8 or a 9. I want to buy a 10, and when the 11 comes up, I'll stick with a 10. Toby. Oh, hi, Rob. Thank you very much. Get yourself a couple of SD cards. Yeah, that's a bit of a con, isn't it? Thanks, Rob. That's very generous of you. We're getting there to the old camera. When you buy the camera, they don't include the SD card. You've got to buy that separately, and they're quite expensive depending on the size. But yeah, thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Right, okay. Tommy and Guy says agree on the 7. But you guys who are agreeing on the 7, have you ever tried the 10? Okay, so yeah, all right. So Tom, I don't know. I've never had one. Tom and Go says many YouTubers have a 10, but they still use their 7. Well, that's interesting. I'll have to look at that on YouTube. Why do YouTubers use a 7? Right. Paul Scarth, Tommy and Guy, think it was because he logged into his account outside of Thailand and YouTube didn't like that. I don't know what that's about. You know, I'm not going to mention his name, but one of the other, he's a fairly big YouTube, or well, he was. He's younger than me. He had a channel, and he's YouTube. They're taking channels down. I don't know why. You know, I've stopped putting Thai music over my videos because they're just getting so strict, and I don't understand it. Because if you look at TikTok, for instance, which I look, you know, you go in the toilet for a crap and you look at some TikTok videos, don't you? I do anyway. And people just put loads of copyrighted music and they don't seem to mind, but YouTube are just deleting channels, you know. Eric Powell, thank you, mate. What's up, homie? Love your stories. Well, there's 3 good ones coming out tomorrow, Eric, and thank you very much for that super chat. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, they just took his channel down. But what's frustrating, what's frustrating is that when they take your channel down, hang on, I'm trying to keep up with these as well. What yours travels say? Okay, you're talking to somebody else, right? Yeah. What's frustrating? I haven't had it done yet, but they've pulled me on copyright on the music. But lucky they haven't given me a strike because I jump in and edit it out as soon as they say it. What's really frustrating from the people I've spoken to who lose their channel, what YouTube do? They'll come along and say, "You're breaking YouTube's rules. We've blocked your channel. It's taken down. You can appeal it." So they put the appeal in. No, we've decided it's breaking the rules. And when they don't tell you why, you can't go and rectify it. So it's not like they give you a broad perspective. They'll say like your on nudity and decency, you've violated our nudity and decency rules. And but they won't say, well, that video entitled Soy 6 After Midnight has got a video of a girl in a nightie and you can see a nipple. They don't do that. They just give you, so you think, well, which video was it? What was it? How will I stop myself doing it again? It must be frustrating. And that guy's lost his channel. And, it's very frightening because, obviously we do make an income from this now. And I'll be relying on it when I'm in Thailand. Right, Stuart Marston, good evening, Peter and all. Looking forward to my December trip, but want to visit a few islands this time. Going to Krabi and Penang, but wondered if there's any must-visit islands. Koh Penang's quite popular near Pattaya. A lot of people go to that one. I'm not really a kind of island person. I like to find nice locations that are in Thailand, but you don't have to kind of go out to them. There are beach towns like Cha'am and north of the Gulf of Thailand. Not Pattaya down here, but you go north. I can't remember off the top of my head any of the names, but this is why I want to get the GoPro as well. I want to hit some real nice areas that you guys might look at and think, wow, there is a little bit of action there and it might be worth going there. All right, how long we've been going? Half an hour, time for a beer soon. Nearly 400 in. Good to see you. And if you've just joined us, guys, Tony Adby, is it? Hi, Pete. Gutted I have spent 2.5 years avoiding COVID. I was supposed to return to Bangkok on Thursday, but caught COVID. Oh my God. It's funny because I took a COVID test yesterday for the first time since Bangkok because I've been feeling really, really tired and I've had diarrhea for 3 days. I don't know any other way to say it, right? And I've only just started taking Imodium because when you have that, it's better to let it go so your body can flush out everything rather than stopping it. But after 2 or 3 days, you really need to, start taking the Imodium. And Bob actually recommended me this. I forget what it's called. It comes in a sachet and it's sugar and salt. So when you've been to the toilet, it puts back all your fluids. And I haven't been taking that. And perhaps that's why I've been feeling very, very tired. But the first thing, like Damon said to me, he says, I took a COVID test. And Damon said, well, as soon as you're ill, you start taking COVID tests. It's, we never used to do that. But, I thought maybe I have got it. I don't know. I haven't, but, hopefully I'll get over it. I'm feeling tired now, actually. Yeah, Paul says it sadly seems to be rife at the moment. Had it for a good 10 days, just tested negative, felt rough. Yeah. Right, Paul Shackleton says hit. Yeah, I mean, is that hit the like? Angels Cabal, you do it every week, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, great. I'm getting there, probably very close to 25% there already. Well, 20%. Right, okay. Right, and from Stephen Forex doing well tonight. I know YouTube rules are a joke. They allow art such as full body, frontal body painting, and naked yoga, which are clearly not art visuals but more spinners. I like that title. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, they're a little bit hard to work out, but the problem is when you've got a Thailand channel based on Thailand. I mean, I know I'm in the UK, but inevitably, you like that word? Inevitably, you know, you're going to get into the realms of being around Pattaya and filming certain things, and it is very nerve-wracking. You know, I'm being really careful now. I'm not being a girl's blouse. It's just I just don't want to lose the channel. Clive, thanks for the toilet talk, Peter. I'm eating a korma, laugh out loud. Yeah, that's it was like a. I'll be really descriptive now for you, Clive. It was like a flock of sparrows out of a drain pipe. It really was. Right, spitting all over the place now. Luxury vegan travel. Peter, normally you are surrounded by sexy ladies behind you. Where are they? Well, I'll bring them on now then. I don't know why I've got an itchy hooter. I always want to do this. Right. It's really hard to find the subject we've been talking about. It's really hard to find sexy girls that aren't a little bit too sexy, if that makes sense. So are these a little bit too sexy? I don't know. Oh, sure. Maybe I'll save them for later, and I'll put on some that are a little bit milder, and we'll come back to these girls because I haven't even had a beer yet. Let's put these two lovelies on. And this one here, hang on, can I point to this one here? She looks naughty, really naughty, doesn't she? Right, okay, enough of all that. Right, evening, Peter. How is the stream going? I don't know, you tell me. It seems all right for me. Right, a nomad overseas. Probably best not to do any vids about the ping pong shows then, yeah. It's really funny, you know, sometimes when you make videos and you talk about pat pong and ping pong shows, I get people write to me who've never been to Thailand, and they're being deadly serious, and they're writing and they say, "What's a ping pong show in Thailand?" And it's really, you know, it's really hard to kind of describe it, isn't it? But it's easier in an email. Okay, I'm smiling because I don't want to read it out. Yeah, I wasn't going to be that descriptive, but you know what I'm getting at. Damon told me a story about walking up Soy 8, and we'll leave it at that. But he had a similar experience, which was a bit more embarrassing than me being at home. But that put a smile on my face. All right, Chris again. What? Pete, okay, all right, we're not counted. Right, Danny Ho, you fancy the naughty ones there? Well, I mean, you know, you can window shop, can't you? You don't have to go in and buy it. I mean, I can admire a beautiful Chinese vase from outside the shop and say, that vase is absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. And then I can walk off, right? I'll be single soon. Right, okay. Damon, I don't know the Castle Club, but I'm sure you'll introduce me. What I've decided to do now, because Andrew's coming out with me, he's on a separate flight, but he goes on the same day. But I'll have a few beers with him in the airport. So Andrew being a bit of a tight ass, he's going out on. Tell me, I'm only joking, Andrew. He's going out on Eva Air the same evening, the same time as me, but I'm going on Thai Airways, and I'm going to do a bit of a road trip with Andrew. But what I've decided to do this time, I'm going to stay when I arrive. I'm going to stay in Bangkok for the first 5 nights, and I didn't know what I was going to do, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to head down to Pattaya for a week because I want to get myself a Thai driving license. I want to open my bank account. I want to extend my flight ticket and my visa, and it's all very easy to do down there. And then I'll take it from there. I'm going to be there for 2 months. So I've got some good stuff planned. Right, Lester Paul. I've just had first time after 2 years or more. We just got to live with it. And so, yeah, we have. I mean, people are just so bored of it now, aren't they? I don't even put the numbers up anymore. I mean, I think it's, I just think people don't care now. Okay, let's have a look. Right, Darcy, please do a travel blog at the airport, Peter. So what sort of a travel blog would you want at the airport? I mean, I have seen quite a few travel vlogs at the airport. I did one when I arrived, when COVID was within the thick of it. You know, I came through. Do you remember that in December? Oh, they were grim days, weren't they? Let me just, where's that chat? Matthew Cartwright, that's it, go for it. Yeah, okay, JB, we'll do that later. Right, let me put that up. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what can you do at the airport, but do you remember I did one in December when I documented my trip I mean, it was grim. It was in the thick of COVID, and I thought, I've got to do it. Like somebody said to me the other day, they said, like, you know, you had to do that. You had to do it, even though you didn't want to do it. You had to do it. And I caught COVID out there, but that was a grim trip. Do you remember I was sitting outside here in my car? Right, lads, I'm ready. I'm going to Thailand after 2 years. I went down, I stayed in a hotel, I filmed it. No fridge in the hotel. I was gutted. Had some cans of lager with me. And, you know, I got into the airport and it was strict. You know, we got in and they had all these rows of plastic chairs, and I sat on this plastic chair behind these Thais, and we're all sitting there. There was about 5 people in spacesuits coming around checking everything. And then when you couldn't just walk out like you normally do. They got you and they put a sticker on you, and you were directed to an area, and I had to sit there. And then I was picked up in this van that looked like a bloody, it had a screen behind the driver, like a little glass screen. And then I went straight to the hospital. The nurse opened the door, all fully, you know, done. And there's me, Mr. Like I had the play. She rams this thing up my nose. I just come off the aircraft, right? You know, and I've gone through all that at the airport. She rammed this thing up my nose, and I mean, she didn't go like give it a little twirl. I mean, she rammed it. I mean, I could feel it on the back of my eyeball almost popping out, right? And then we went straight to the hotel, but there was none of this, you know, front door bellboy bags. It was in the underground car park where they had a table set up, separate lift. Got up to the room, it was sparse, you know, it was all covered in plastic, and, you know, it was awful, absolutely awful. Luckily, I tested negative, and it was okay after that until I caught COVID, and they wouldn't let me on the return. But yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. Okay. Adrian Smith, do a video showing the mobile phone shop and curry exchange in the airport. Well, I mean, you can't actually do a video on that, can you? I can come out onto the baggage carousel, and I can film the 2 phone shops and film that, and then when I do another video, I can start and say, by the way, guys, when you arrive, here are those shops. No problem, I can do that. Yours Travels, I really enjoy the airport part of the journey, probably because I'm in the lounge getting buzzed. Yep, I like that bit as well, going out especially. I remember I used to get the night flight. I used to smoke years ago, and I've always drank beers. And I remember years ago going out of the old Don Muang airport. It wasn't as strict about non-smoking. You could smoke virtually anywhere. But in the airport, it was, you know, coming up to, I think it was, what year was it? It would have been around 2005. I'd actually left Thailand, and I was visiting and coming back on short trips. And I remember I always used to get a night flight. It would take off about 12:30 a.m. So you had to be careful. It was really easy to miss the date. It says you're leaving on the 2nd of July at 12:30, and you think, is that today or tomorrow? Anyway, in those days, I still remember the old Don Muang airport. They had, I wouldn't even call it a restaurant, on an upper level. Once you checked in, it was almost like a works canteen. It was this big space, and they had Singer on tap, and you could get some ropey buns and stuff. And I used to go up there after I checked in, and I used to sit right in the corner, and I'd have I'd be smoking. You're not supposed to smoke, but it wasn't like it is now, where they're fining you and people are chasing you for dropping a cigarette. But I'd sit in the corner, smoke almost a packet of cigarettes, you know, and I'd be drinking Heinekens. It was very laid back then. And even if you stayed over, if you went over on your visa, it was just about money. So there was none of this blacklisting for a year, blacklisting for 3 years and 5, none of that. You know, if you stayed over, it was a few $100 a day. And if you got to the airport and you'd overstay by 2 weeks, they'd say, well, you owe us 3,000 baht. You paid the 3,000 baht, and off you went, and there was nothing recorded. It was totally different. Do you believe it? I don't even know what that word means. Right, Carefree 42. Is there a manga vest shop at Heathrow? I doubt it. Yeah, I will. I mean, what I want to do, Chris, I think that's quite important. I know a lot of people in Thailand do a lot of the same sort of stuff, and I really don't want to do the same stuff. And that's why I've always said I wouldn't live in Pattaya, and I wouldn't do a lot of kind of them sort of videos in Pattaya, because everybody's doing them. You got everything Pattaya, you got Buzz in Pattaya, you got, you know, there's lots of guys in Pattaya, and they're all kind of doing a lot of the same stuff. And I don't want to do that. I can't bring anything to the party, as it were. And but you know, you know, when you go to when you go around Nana and Sukhumvit, between Asok and Soi 4, there's a lot of hotels where they're good budget hotels or medium priced hotels, and guys want to know about them. They want to know prices, and yeah, I think I will. You know, maybe do a couple of hotels a week, and anybody who's going out there, they can actually. It's nice because you can see the room, you can see the bathroom. You know, you can take them, show people the coffee shop, the entrance. Is there a joiner's fee or not? You know, and somebody who's going out and they're looking for a hotel is a bit better than just looking on a hotel booking site, isn't it? So yeah, definitely. James Casey, about time I sent you a super chat. Great work, Peter. Catch you downtown in Bangkok. Yeah, thanks, James, and I'll buy you a beer if I bump into you. But of course, I don't know what you look like, so you'll have to kind of grab me. But thanks for that. I don't think I've seen you in before, Captain Panda Bear. What's the current ratio in Pattaya between girls and customers available? Well, I can't actually tell you because I haven't been to Pattaya since December when I went out with Trevor and the boys down there. And back then, there were quite a lot of older women down there. There weren't a lot of, 20 to 30-year-olds. A lot of them are making money online now, aren't they? Now, whether they'll come back or not, there are guys out there making videos. You're probably better to ask one of them. I will include it when I'm next down there. But I honestly don't know. Okay. Tom Guy says, showing your room as part of a video is fine, but the stand alone a bit boring. I don't really understand that. Showing your room as part of a video is fine, but the stand alone's a bit. I don't really get it. So how I would do it, I would make it concise. I wouldn't drag it out. So I would say, right, I would come along and I'd say, right, we're looking at the Majestic Hotel, for instance, film it outside, go inside. Here's what they've got downstairs. Here's what it costs for the rooms. You can get medium, large, whatever. Go upstairs, film a couple of rooms, and that's it. What more do you need to know? Okay. I don't quite understand the question there, Tommy Guy. A nomad overseas again. You should do some vids to help promote good value taxis that will bring you from Bangkok to Pattaya, Hua Hin, etc. Help bring business. Well, there's Apple. I can give you Apple's number. I did a video called "The Worst Thing About Leaving Thailand." I made a video called "The Worst Thing About Thailand." It was a bit of a clickbait thumbnail, though there weren't any sexy ladies on there other than Apple. And I was leaving. I was in the airport with that. I was in the taxi with Apple. Now Apple's a Thai lady who owns her own taxi, and you can book with her. She's very nice. She speaks English. And if you go and look at that video, I'm sitting in the front seat with Apple, and we're talking about Thailand and me leaving and all the rest of it. And if you're going to Thailand, you want to book a taxi down to Pattaya or Hua Hin or wherever it is, write to me. I'll send you Apple's number. But guys, I'm not trying to be funny with you. She's not. Don't start touching her up in the taxi because she'll sling you out on the bloody on the expressway. Not every woman in Thailand's for sale. That she's not a bar girl. The fact that she owns her own taxi and she's out working 16 hours a day proves she's doing that to earn money. She is single, so you never know. But don't do anything stupid, guys. She's not that way inclined. But if you want a decent taxi driver who's not going to rip you off, she's great. I always use her. Right, Tommy Guy, electric tuk-tuks are very cheap. I've never seen an electric tuk-tuk. Do they have them now? Abel's Cabal, I have heard the go-go girls in Bangkok are more beautiful than Pattaya girls nowadays. Is that true in your opinion? Like I say, when I was there in December, there were no go-go bars opening in Pattaya. It was a kind of sausage fest down there. You know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see what it's like in October. But from what I said to you earlier, there's going to be an influx of tourists in October because that's when the flights are cheaper. But whether that will stay, I'm pretty much thinking a lot of the flights are probably booked up in October now. Okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll tell you, let me just get rid of this. I want to show you something. Right, you do know if you haven't gone this, get off. You do know if you haven't gone this month, you're not really doing too badly. They've got terrible flooding at the moment. I've got a 1-minute clip here I'm going to show you. It's Bangkok, about 40 seconds, and it shows you the beach road in Pattaya. But this is what they're going through at the moment. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be wearing your brand new pair of Nikes or Reeboks through that, would you? Terrible. You know, in Bangkok, they actually covered a lot of the canals. That's why they don't have the drainage. The drainage systems just can't cope with the, you know, the amount of water. Something else I was going to talk about. I was going to show you a picture, but I thought it's a bit kind of rough for this time of night. But, you know, there's a lot of rats in Bangkok underground. And because of the water levels, they're all come to the surface. And there's piles of them on the pavement, literally pyramids of rats because they got nowhere to go. But I thought that would probably put some people off their dinner. Right, Nick T. Even though quite catchy, the new intro music. Yeah, thank you, Nick. I like it. I've had to delay my trip due for next week until October due to my selfish ex-Filipino wife messing about. I have custody of daughter. Well, that's good. At least you've got your kid. It must be terrible when it goes wrong. You know, I mean, you know me, guys. Me and my wife are splitting up, but there's no, you know, there's not. We do argue, but there's not any really bad feelings. It must be awful if it's, you know, if it's like that. You know, I feel for you, Nick. I really do. But at least from what I'm reading, you've got your kid. That's really good. Paradise Life, thank you for that, mate. Go Pro Funds. Yeah, it's a catchy little thing, that, isn't it? And we're well into it now. And when I get it, I'll bring it out, and I might even film the stream and play it back. Right, Clive. There's going to be many more tuk-tuk accidents with the advent of electricity, immediately accelerating Thai drivers. Well, yeah, the thing is with the tuk-tuks, you can hear them, that's for sure. An electric one, yeah, you don't, you know, if it comes screaming down the road and you've had a few beers, maybe not. Paulie Buffalo 555 I can see why SUVs are so popular in Thailand. Yeah, I mean, it's not flooded most of the time, is it? Just now and again. Bottle Baby, at least it's fresh water. Well, it's fresh when it comes down, but once it hits them steaming peats, you know, the mean streets of Bangkok, it's not fresh for long, is it? Especially with them rats. Did I read this one out already? Captain, thanks, Paul. I don't know what normal is. Right. Okay. Look, I've started something new now. I mean, I'm going to sound like a money scrounging e-beggar, but I've introduced a new service now that if there's somebody who's going to Thailand, they've never been before, and they just want to have a chat for half an hour or an hour, one-on-one on Zoom, where it's just me and you want to ask me a bunch of questions, I do offer that service now, but obviously there is a small charge, and it is very small compared to others. I looked at a couple of websites, guys in Pattaya are doing it, and they're double and almost 3 times more than what I'm charging. It's just because, you know, I've got to be paid for my time, haven't I? If I'm, you know, if it's a 2-hour and I'm sitting talking to somebody for 2 hours, you know, I mean, I don't mind helping a friend out or giving somebody a bit of advice, but if somebody wants to tie me up for an hour, 2 hours, and they want to just, like, you know, pick my brains, then, you know, obviously I want to get paid for it. But that is a service I'm offering, and there is a link in the description. So if you fancy, you know, a one-on-one chat and you really want to get some info about, I don't know, work permits, health insurance, places to stay, prices to pay, and even stuff I can't talk about here, as long as it's legal, I'll talk about it. Okay. Right. Stuart Marston. A bit towards the GoPro fund, least we can do while we're enjoying the content. Thanks, Stuart. I really do appreciate it. That's nice of you. I had you know, whenever I get a nice comment, I always, it's yin and yang. I always think of bad comments that come in. And a guy wrote to me today, and he said to me, you know, the Nat and Dave, Simon, who did that for me. Well, we're not professionals, right? We're not getting paid to make those videos. We do as best as we can. We try to make it funny. You know, I had some input in them cartoons, but Simon put on an American accent because we can't pay somebody. We can't bring some American. We don't have an American friend and say, hey, can you do this for us? It's finished now, so don't offer. And I don't even know if it was an American who complained. It probably wasn't. But some guy left a comment and he said, that's the worst American accent I've heard. Why do you have to make him sound like a country bumpkin? So I thought about it and I wrote back, and I think it's quite clever. I wrote back and I says, yes, it's nearly as bad as the Cockney accent that Dick Van Dyke had in Mary Poppins. And to think they had hundreds of thousands of pounds to pick the right actors, whereas we're amateurs. You know, I mean, what can you say? What can you say? Go and visit our refund department as normal. Right. Who else we got in? Let's have a look. Paul Shackleton, Peter, I really like the idea of a private one-on-one. It's not expensive, Paul. It's cheap, and you'll get a lot out of it if you need a lot of knowledge. A lot, you know, if you just want to have a chat and, you know, get down to the nitty gritty, as they say, and just, you can prepare your questions before. You don't have to have an hour and a half an hour. Just say bang, 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 and I'll put you straight. And something is, the page is on my website, and something else I've said. If you ask me something and I don't know, I won't give you any BS. I'll say I don't know. I'm going to go and find out, and I'll get back to you. And of course, that'll be free of charge. Martin Ryder, My mate was in Phuket when the tsunami came. He claims to have massage while watching a car float down the street. Finished off, but okay, that's interesting. I don't know about that. Peter, would you mind sharing with us your budget and how you arrived at that number? I don't really have a budget because I've been going out there for so long. I know that if I go out for a month, I'll do anywhere between sort of £2,000-3,000 because I'm not going off with the ladies and buying lots of I do buy ladies drinks because, you know, if you go out on your own and you're sitting in a bar, you don't want to sit there all night. If a girl comes on and says you want to play Connect 4 or you know, one of the games, yeah, why not? And then you buy a couple of drinks, don't you? But, you know, on your budget, it depends what you're going to do. If you're a guy who's going out there and you're going to take a lady out every other night or every night, then you need a much bigger budget because don't forget, you're going to invite her to your table or she's going to invite herself to your table. You know, you're going to buy at least 2 drinks while you're getting to know her. There's a bar fine, which is not cheap these days. And then you're going to have to tip her for spending some time with you. I'm keeping it clean, right? And if you do that many, many times, it can, you know, you'll eat through your budget. Whereas if you're a guy who goes out there and you just, you know, you just enjoy, you know, you'll enjoy renting a motorbike and visiting a few temples and you like eating nice food and spending time on the beach and that sort of thing, then yeah, your budget will go a lot further. It's all down to people. But when I go out this time, I'm going to test myself because when I go to Pattaya, instead of taking a taxi, I'm going to take the bus, which is 180 baht. When I go to Hua Hin, I'm going to take the train, which takes 5 hours. You drive there and it's 3 hours, but it's a milk run. It stops at every station. But I'm just going to try it and see how it goes, and then I'll come back and I'll do a budget, and I'll hopefully it'll be quite a cheap budget. I'm not going to be a cheap Charlie, but I'm going to experiment with myself and see how I get on. Canary spreads his wings. Go in Philippines charges I think $100, but I might be wrong. Geo in Philippines. Okay. All right. Well, Stinger, why are you going to Pattaya? It's a tennis ball, right? Tennis. Let me hit it back to you. Let me ask you a question. So your question is, why are you going to Pattaya? My question to you is, why wouldn't I go to Pattaya? Okay. I would have thought it was obvious. Right. Joy Lynn, how you doing? Not in the toilets with your vape, hopefully. Wrong one. Hang on, I'll come back to that. Where are we? There we are. Right, £2,000-3,000. Geez, is that how much you spend in the UK? No, of course not. Of course not. But I'm on vacation. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, when you live in the UK, you got your bills to pay. You live a normal life. When you go out to Thailand, you save up. I save up. I've got a bank account called my Thailand pot. That's what I call it because that is just for Thailand. So, of course, if I go out for a month, I might have £5,000 in that account, right? I'm not saying I'm going to spend the £5,000, but I'm certainly not going to look at the price on menus. I'm certainly not going to argue. You know, if a beer's 160 or 180 baht, I'm not going to leave the bar because it's 20 baht dearer than the bar I've just come from. If I like that bar, you know, yeah, I don't want. I've seen people go to Thailand and end up spending the last 2 nights of their vacation in their hotel room because they thought it was going to be cheap and they spent a lot more money than they actually thought they would need. Okay, Asef says tour guide, perfect. Yeah, okay. Right, I did. No, Eddie's okay. I got a message from him today. He said Eddie has not reported in for 4 days. He's probably got himself a nice bird or something like that, and he's bedded in for the winter. Not heard from Eddie for 4 days. Anyone heard from him, or has he been kidnapped by gypsies? No, I got a reply from him today. I sent him one of these silly videos on TikTok, and he sent me his usual thumbs up. So I did get a response, but I don't know what's happening with him. I don't know. I was supposed to do a stream with Ed, wasn't I? But he's very elusive. He's very hard to get hold of. And talking of being guests on stream, I was supposed to be on Buzzin Pattaya, Trevor's stream. What day are we today? Friday. Yesterday, he actually contacted me last week and said, "Do you want to come on for a collaboration? Come on with me." And he's got a young guy with him, hasn't he? And he said, "Well, come on Thursday, 10:30 UK time, which is whatever time I'm in Thailand." I said, "Yeah, fine, I'll do it." And then he sent me a message yesterday. Said, "Do you mind if we leave it till next week because his mum? No, it was his wife's birthday, and she was around." So I said, "Yeah, no problem." So I don't know if you catch Trevor's live stream, but I think I'll be a guest on there next Thursday. That's 10:30 UK time. So that should be fun. Okay. Okay, yes. Spider says, Yep, Ed live stream late last night. Didn't see it. Didn't even see it advertised. Okay, so I'm not going to read all them comments. A lot of people are now saying Eddie had a live stream last night. Okay, like I said, I didn't see it. The Wutong Life. I have a low level misdemeanor charge in the USA that happened 30 years ago fighting. My only mark, will that affect my retirement visa? They say no criminal. No, not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't sort of advertise it if I was you, but you know, the thing is, what you do is you go in on a regular tourist visa, you get that extended, get an agent to do your, to do your retirement visa. I mean, it's not like you robbed a bank last year, is it? Something like that. I know guys who they've got criminal records from years ago. You know, some of them have spent 6 months in prison for stealing cars in the UK and stuff. But you know, it was years ago. I mean, obviously, if you're an axe murderer or something and you're on the run, then yeah, I think your chances of getting into Thailand and staying in Thailand are limited. But the Wutong Life, what you're actually saying there, 30 years, you don't worry about it even in the slightest. Okay, you're going to have no problem at all. I guarantee that. Guarantee it. Right. Canary spreads his wings. We'll definitely check in next Thursday, but usual for me anyway. Good guy, Trev. Yeah, I haven't watched Trevor for a while, not because I've gone off him or anything like that, but I'm just so busy. Okay. Right, Peter, what is your favorite Thai dish? I like pad Thai. I like kalpat gai, you know, the chicken fried rice with the egg on top. I like anything with the prawns, tom yum gung, something like that. I'm not a great, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not a great fan of Thai food. It is very nice, but my problem, I'm going to just have a sneaky one here while I'm talking. I couldn't get any cans of, I get the small cans of Sprite because it's been so hot, they're sold out. So I've had to decant from a big 1.5 litre Sprite into this little drinking water because I like a little bit of lemonade on top. And I've got the oh yes, the old favourite there, $2.99 for 4 from Aldi. Lovely. I forgot what I was talking about again there. Right, Christ, my memory's getting terrible. Every time I go off subject, I forget what I was talking about. Let me grab a glass here. Remind me. Don't forget we've got the competitions. We've got 2 competitions tonight, but as always, I'm going to leave the Ladyboy competition till later because a lot of people disappear when that comes on. But I haven't got rid of it. Okay. Right. High five says, such a funny name, luxury vegan traveler. I couldn't think of anything worth having a restricted diet like that. Well, each to his own. I've got to lose some weight. I put a hell of a lot of weight on, and I hate being fat. Somebody's just reminded me, Thai food. That's what I was talking about. Right. I tend to eat a lot of Western food in Thailand. A couple of reasons. I just find the choice is absolutely fantastic. I live in a market town. I'll talk about it in a minute, Brian. Thank you. I live in a market town in the UK. Limited choice. Kebab, Chinese, Indian takeaway, fish and chips, ready meals from the supermarket. Crap, right? Absolute crap. You know, when you're in Thailand, you've got so much choice. And not only have you got so much choice, but a lot of the time the Western food there is 10 times better than what it is here. And I'm sure that's the same for many countries. But so I do tend to go for Western food when I'm there. But there are some restaurants where I do go quite regular. There's a restaurant on, I think it's 5/1 or 7/1. There's a Thai restaurant. As you walk into the store, it's first one on the right, 120 baht a meal. It's great. And they do some real nice food. Before I forget, Brian, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. You do that quite often. Danny Ho, Peter rocking the tall boys. Thank you. Paul Hoskin, we haven't heard from you tonight. I'm not keen on Thai food either. A clean one from you, Paul. Clean one. I mustn't forget joke of the week. Got a good one for you tonight, guys. Right. Javier Lopez says, Peter, did you watch Eddie's live stream talking about retirement in Thailand? I think it was very entertaining. Lots of interest. I meant to get back to that. Let me just have a slurp on this. I haven't watched it. It came up and I thought I must watch this. And you know what? Things come up. You know, I deal with a lot of people now on the phone, on WhatsApp and Line. And, you know, I try and get my stuff done for Friday night. The good thing is now I've finished my job. So I should have a lot more, time. I should have more time. And it's one of those things I thought I must watch that. But because 2 weeks have gone by, so I think, well, it's not worth watching it now. I've heard that joke before. That's a Bernard Manning one. That's good. Where are we? He says, my first Thai wife died of eating Thai poison mushrooms. Unbelievably, my Thai wife suffered the same fate, and recently my third wife died of a broken skull. She hated mushrooms. Yeah, that's a slight abbreviation on the Bernard Manning joke. Bernard Manning, he says, oh, his friend says to him, how you doing? And he says, not very well. He says, 2 of my wives have died. And he says, oh, really? He says, yeah, my first wife died of eating poison mushrooms. He says, really? He said, what happened to your second wife? He said, she wouldn't eat her mushrooms. Boom, boom. But yeah, it is a good one, but it's got Bernard Manning. He's legend. Right, JB, does anyone do the old Martin Lewis trick when you're running out of money? You take a mental picture of the best bar girl, then go to the bathroom. I've got to read yours before I put them up. Right. Okay. Michael Genius, I love Thai food. Second reason I go there, especially street food. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Michael. I'm not a fan of street food. You know, the carts on the street. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but I've seen now, I'm not going to tell you what I've seen because it's not fair. If you guys like that kind of food, then I'm not going to tell you. Right. Hugh Jazz, Canary Spreader's Wing. Don't be confused, mate. Eddie's travel logs are on his main channel, Edward Sweeney's live stream. All right, okay. Well, this isn't a this isn't a kind of advertisement channel for Ed streams. I don't mind mentioning him, but you know, we're not going to talk about it all night. Right, Jam Jar Johnny. Glad to be off work for a few Fridays now. Good to catch up on the live streams. Yeah, good to have you in, Johnny. Yeah, see, Big Bass, you're saying you're saying garlic chili sauce is a must. See, this is where it's very unfortunate for me. As much as I love onions, people who know me, they know I absolutely detest garlic. The smell makes me want to reach. You know, I just can't stand it. And a lot of Thai food, well, most Thai food has garlic and, believe it or not, sugar. And the first sort of sentence I learned in Thai was "Mao Gatiam Cab." No garlic, please. I had to, otherwise, you know, it comes to the table and the first thing I smell. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I eat like an Indian curry, I know there's garlic in that, and a lot of food. You know, you go to a Turkish restaurant, of course, it's all got garlic, but it's not overpowering. A lot of the Thai food, especially like the shredded pork and the dishes. When I'm out with my friend Simon, we're sitting in a local bar and he gets these dishes on the table. I had to leave the last time. The smell was so overpowering. I wanted to vomit. You know, and that's just unlucky, really. Right, World Traveller Forever. Good evening, Peter. The US dollar to baht exchange rate is very good these days. That I feel like booking and leaving next week, even though I'm already booked for November. Thanks for the super chat, World Traveller Forever. I wouldn't book at the moment because you'll pay through the nose. It's very, very expensive at the moment. Right, D-Rock says, still tell us what you've seen, Peter, about the street food. Okay, just standard stuff, all right? So if anybody tells me off, I can say, well, D-Rock asked me, right? No, I mean, I've been, you know, you can eat street food. Thousands of people do. They don't have problems. But remember, the Thais have got stronger stomachs than us because they grew up on it. But I've been late at night in a soy, and I've been sitting at a table where there's been street carts, and I'm sitting there because I'm having a drink. I've got a few beers. There's a few of us here. There's a couple of girls and some guys, and we're having a few late night drinks, 2 a.m, midnight, whatever it was. And there's street foods, and I've seen a street cart that's piled to the brim with everything, and the ladies put her vegetables on a tray on the floor because there's no room on top. And as I'm sitting there, I've seen rats run over them vegetables and even stop and look around. And okay, she boils them. It probably kills all the germs, but you know, the thought. When I'm eating that salad, I'll be thinking about that rat, and it wants me want to, you know, I've got a very weak stomach in that way. It probably wouldn't hurt me, but you know, in Jumpton years ago, I was telling somebody else's story. I once went to a public toilet in Jumpton. I was on the beach, and you could go across the road and you could pay 10 baht, and they got a toilet with taps. They got a shower and all that because of the sand. And I was in there. It was in the evening. It was starting to get dark, and I was standing there, and they had a mirror I could hardly see, and I was washing my hands. And I wore flip-flops. I never wear flip-flops, but I did then. And this was a long time ago, probably 25 years ago. And I felt something run over my feet. And I looked down. It was a rat actually ran across the top of my feet. And I absolutely hate rats. I mean, I don't know anybody who's ever turned around and said they love rats. But, I mean, they just, for me, you know, once I've seen something, like if I see, you know, a lady's got her vegetables on the ground and there's rats on top of it, that's it. It does it for me. It's like it's a switch. Okay. Franco Tonaban, have you said hello to? No, I haven't. So I'm going to give a shout out to Noel. I do it every week. Noel in Birmingham. I know he's listening, and I know he hears this every week. And so Noel, when you email me, I always try and email you back. And sometimes you might think I'm a bit short with you. It's not that, no. I just get so many messages every day. I'm one of those guys that I try to respond to everybody, because if I send a message to somebody, like a WhatsApp message, and they don't send it back, it winds me up. At least put a smiley face or okay or cool. And when I send a message to somebody, if I see they've read it and they don't give me anything back, it winds me up. So I always try to answer my messages. And with yourself, no, sometimes you put quite a lot of details in there and I don't get back to you on them. That's just because I'm extremely busy. Don't take it personally. I appreciate you always say hi, and I hope you're enjoying the stream. Okay, right. Another super chat there. That's, how do I pronounce that? Is that Pure? Okay, I don't know. It's on screen. Thank you very much for that. Donald Person, hello from Los Angeles, California. Don, hi Donald. Good to have you in. Okay, Clive, Peter, one thing I don't miss with a wife gone is the stench of chili in the bedroom when I'm trying to sleep. You know, this is a problem I have with my Korean wife. Oh, it's gone down well. I don't know if you know, but the Koreans, every single meal is garlic, and you know I hate garlic. And when she's cooking in the kitchen, we have to open all the windows in the house because it just reeks. You know, she eats this stuff called kimchi. And it's like, for me, it's like going into a death chamber. I smell it. I can't, you know, I have to go in the garden sometimes. And this has caused so many arguments in the past. And I'm like, do you have to have it every meal? You know, for God's sake, can't you just have like a salad one night? So I know where you're coming from, Clive, but you know, you can't stop people eating, can you? Yours travels. A chicken sits there raw for hours, sometimes in the warm before it's cooked, then cooked far too quick, causes bad stomach and bowel issues for days. I've only ever been seriously caught food poisoning once. I mean, serious, where I had to have an injection. I have had food poisoning where I've had the runs, and I've had to be close to a toilet, but it goes away by itself. But years ago, I'm talking 30 years ago, my wife, who's Korean, she didn't know. She froze some chicken cutlets. She defrosted them. She cooked two. They'd defrosted overnight. She put them back in the freezer. And I got proper full-on poison. And I was telling somebody today, it was so bad. The only way I can describe it is when it came out, say the bathroom was in, I had to get up to go to the bathroom because I had to sit down, right? But it was so bad, this food poison. Do you remember the scene from The Exorcist where that green stuff, where she's like, ugh? It was like that with me, but it looked like orange squash. So I think, oh God, I got to go. I'd sit up in the bed, stand up. And before I got anywhere, it was like The Exorcist, right? That scene with orange squash, it was awful. And I was like that for probably a week, and all my fluids had gone. And in the end, a doctor came around to see me and actually gave me an injection of something. And it was really, really bad. That's the worst I've ever had it. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. So the problem is in Thailand, you know, it's a hot country, isn't it? When I was in Hua Hin, and I went into the food mall in the market village, and I had a kebab. It looked nice, and it was on the the column there. I thought, I've been there a month, I'll have a kebab, and I was sick, and I went to the doctors. I got antibiotics, and it went away in a few days. But you've got to be careful where you eat in Thailand, Smiley McGee, I paid the same for my November trip. Okay, right, yeah. Big Bass 255. Once you go rat, you don't come back. They do actually eat rat in the countryside in Thailand. They're not like the black oily sewer rats. They're field animals. They live in the fields, but they are rats, and they catch them. They go out at night and catch them, and they cook them up, and they eat this. Just ask Damon. No, I don't. Eugene, I absolutely hate it because of the reason of the garlic, and it's fermented. This is fermented cabbage. It's a national dish, and it makes me feel like I want to vomit. And this has been when me and my Korean wife for years and years and years, I've caused her so many headaches. She's gone to the point she can't live without kimchi, but she's gone to the point it's almost like a stealth operation because of my moaning, and it's probably contributed towards our breakup. She'll have a sealed plastic tub. That goes into a huge plastic bag. Then it gets wrapped up in silver foil. I've come home, she's at work, and I've taken it out of the fridge and put it in the back garden. It's that bad. You know, I mean, I know that's a bit unfair, but it's really horrible. It's really horrible. It's like going in, I know it's a horrible way to say it, but it's the only way I can make you understand it. It's like, imagine 20 cats have been pissing in your house all day, and then you go in and try and ignore it. It's horrible. Let's have a look. Time for competition soon, I think. We haven't done anything. Should we do that now? Dutch Farang, I bought my spinner a Turkish pizza once, and so is it? What are you saying? That you bought a Turkish pizza once, and she said it tasted bland. It was loaded with garlic and yeah. I mean, what I tend to do, I'm one of those guys that when I get a meal and it's real good, I tend to stick with it. For instance, not so much now, but for years, when I ordered from our local Chinese, I found a couple of dishes that were really nice. For me, it was chicken in bamboo shoot without garlic, right? And then some egg fried rice. And I'd order that every time I had Chinese. It was the same thing. And it's the same in Thailand. When I find restaurants where I go in, they understand me, no garlic. I can get a good meal. It's the right price. I tend to go back again and again. I'm not very adventurous. The Wutong Lao says, the country rice rats from the river field do taste good as a barbecue. If you ate it, you would never know it's a field rat. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. It's like eating offal, isn't it? You know, you can eat kidneys, hearts, lungs, tongues. You can eat anything, and it's actually good for you. It's got a lot of iron, but it's the thought of it. It's the thought of me eating an animal's heart or its liver. I just don't like it. You know, I don't like the thought of it. And as good as it is, and as healthy as it is, I couldn't do it. I once went to China, okay, and I went to a place called Dalian. And the food was so bad, so bad. I mean, they were eating chicken feet, you know, across the table on these feet of chicken. Disgusting, you know. Everything was garlic, and it had all these white pellets of garlic in it. And it was so horrible that all I ate every day for about 3 months, I lost probably a good few stone, maybe 6 months. All I ate was a bowl of white rice with a fried egg on top. I wouldn't eat anything else. You know, then you see them with them. You know how you eat like a Kentucky Fried Chicken? They do it with these chicken feet, you know. And makes me feel sick just to think about it. Right. Michael Genius, is that Genius? The rule of thumb for not getting food poisoning in Southeast Asia is to make sure it's very hot so no bacteria survives, kill it off. Yeah, it's not always practical though, is it? You know, when you're out in Thailand, you know, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? It's a difficult one. Donald Pearson. Best meal is a properly made ribeye, lobster, and baked potato, bacon, bits, butter, and sour cream and salad. That's the best. Yeah. I mean, you can get all that in Thailand, and it's very good. Paul Burnett, hi Peter, good show tonight. I'm in Pattaya, 18th of August. Think I was lucky to get a flight for 771. Yeah, you were. Off the scale now. Put people off going. Is that a direct flight though, or are you going through the Middle East? Right, let's do a competition because we're an hour and 15 in. We'll keep the Ladyboy one till later. Okay, let's have a look. Let me just get rid of this chat so it doesn't get in the way. I don't mind the chicken feet. All right, I'll leave them for you. If we ever have a meal together, Nick, I'll leave them for you. Right, you know this one. Let me just make sure I don't cock it up. Right, we're ready. Right, 8 pictures from girls around Asia. I want to know which one is a Thai lady. There's only one. She's from Thailand. The other 7 are from different countries. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, did you get it? Let me just, I was having a sneaky little, another sneaky drink here. Let me, I'll go straight up to the first answer. I won't miss you out. Right. Okay, which one is a Thai? Let me just get right up to the beginning. Bear with me a second. I was talking about Ed Sweeney, right? He's just messaged me. He says, great stream, Peter. I'm watching now. Stick a comment in, Ed. Let everybody know you're there. I didn't know you did a live stream last night, Ed. We'll have to get you back on here soon, mate. But good to know you're in the stream. Right, let's see who's got this. I forgot who is the Thai girl now. Let me just refer to my note. Right, let's see who got it right. Which number is the Thai girl? We're starting with Carefree. No, I'm just going to say no or yeah. Yeah means obviously you got it. No, you didn't. Right, Carefree, no. Martin Ryder, no. Reno, you'll be surprised at which one it is. No. Guns and Plebs, no. Brian Street, no. Simon Goodson, no. Clive, no. Shaggy Rogers, no. Rio Rini, no. Martin Ryder, no. We're going to get a right answer tonight. We have one right answer, Adam. Well done. TGC 2450, you got one. Great. Clive, did I say yes? No, you got that wrong again. Geezers, no. Shout out to North London there. Simon Goodson, no. Rob, not this time, mate. Shaggy Rogers, no. Rio Rini. I'm going to go real quick. Keenock, thank you for the super chat. Oh no, Peter. Monger's Vest in HD. Thanks for keeping us all entertained. I'll be in Pattaya Monday. Thanks, Keenock. Thanks for that. I'm going to do a quick one because I've got to get into this. Right. Shaggy Rogers, no. Real Rini, no. Martin Ryder, no. Adam, yeah, I've done these already. Yeah, you're right. Hang on, let me jump forward. Oh, I missed that. Boohoo, no. Stephen 4X, no. Matthew Cartwright, no. Charles Stewart, no. Damon, no. McLaren, Clive again, another try, no. Pelly, no. Jolly Fox, well done, mate. You got it. You know your ties. Paul Shackleton, no. Terry, no. Joma Mankino, is it? No. Vlad the Inhaler, no. Love that name. Nick T, well done. Glenn Howarth, no. Pat's Fan B, no. Javier, no. Kev Mack, no. Gemini Star, no. Stuart Lennox, no. James Casey, we're getting through these now, guys. Got to go really quick. Charles Saunders, no. V, no. McLaren F1, again, no. Hugh, no. Lester Paul, no. Mark P, well done. You got it. Bendover, well done to you. Deke the Trucker, you haven't got it, mate. Sorry. Paradise Life, no. Rumble 4. World Traveller, no. Nino, well done. Hugh Jazz, no. The Wutong Life, going to whiz through these now. Barang, no. Eugene Vincent, no. Redfield, Denmark, no. Wayne M, no. Donna Pearson, no. Gobar, no. Andy Smith, no. DW, no. Jam Jar Johnny, no. Joy, no. Taxi to Lao, yes, you got it, I think. I've lost you. Yes, you have. Patrick Riley, no. Hugh Jazz, no. Silver Fox, no. I'm going to do a few more, then we're going to have to go with the answers, guys. Geezers, no. Paulie Buffalo, Paul Hoskin, no. Mike Sands, no. Danny Ho, no. Bottle Baby, no. Not Dutch Frank, you got it. Well done to you. Smiley McGee, no. Window Open, no. Franco, no. Right, I'm going to go into the answer, guys. It's gone on a bit now. Kevin Lampard, no. Jeff Fried Rice, no. I'm going to have to miss the rest, guys. There's so many answers here. If you got it, well done. If you didn't, you might be surprised by this. Let me put the answer up and you can see which is the real Thai lady. All right, well done if you got that, and we'll do the Lady Boo one later on. Franco, Damon, if you're out there, Andrew's just sent me a message. He said there's a massive troll in the stream. I haven't spotted him, obviously, because I'm doing all this. If you see him, let me know who he is. Put a name up, and I'll look out for him. I can block him then. You can time him out, okay? Right, okay, so well done to the guys who got it. We'll have the same competition next week. We'll do the joke of the week now, and we've still got the Monga minute to go as well, okay? It's quite a good one this week. Let me just line up the ladies. Right, here we go. Right, joke of the week. A lady goes to her priest one day and she tells him, Father, I have a problem. I have 2 female parrots, but they only know how to say one thing. What do they say? The priest asks. They say, hi, we're hookers. Do you want to have some fun? That's obscene, the priest said. Then he thought for a moment. You know, he said, I may have a solution to your problem. Excuse me. I have 2 male talking parrots, which I have taught to pray and read the Bible. bring your 2 parrots over to my house and we'll put them in the cage with Francis and Peter. My parrots can teach your parrots to pray and worship, and your parrots are sure to stop saying the phrase in no time. Thank you, the woman responded. This may very well be the solution. The next day, she brought her female parrots to the priest's house. As he ushered her in, she saw that his 2 male parrots were inside their cage, holding rosemary beads and praying. Impressed, she walked over and placed her parrots in with them. After a few minutes, the female parrots cried out, "Hi, we're hookers. Do you want to have some fun?" There was stunned silence in the cage, shocked. One male parrot looked at the other male parrot and says, "Put the beads away, Frank. Our prayers have been answered." Right, there you go. Joke of the week. Okay. Okay, I think I found this guy. Hang on. Yeah, okay, I found the troll. Let me just get rid of him. Oh, okay. There's some sad people about, isn't there? Okay. All right. Let me say properly to Keynote. I quite like that joke, actually. It was quite visual, wasn't it? Right. Where are we? Keynote. Oh, no, Peter's Mongervest in HD. Thanks for keeping us all entertained. I'll be in Pattaya Monday mongering. Okay. Yeah, I've just got rid of him. Franco, I just caught him. I've got rid of him. Look, got a superstar in tonight here, guys. Look, Ed's in. How you doing, Ed? Good to have you in. Right. Where are we? I've lost my train of thought now. Ed, we got to get you back on here, because every time I've watched a few streams where people say, when you're going to do a collaboration with Thailand Bound, and you've got a standard answer. It's always like, yeah, when the time is right. Well, the time is right. The time is right. Okay. Keenock says, Damon, thank you. Right, I tell you what, people have been waiting for this. Let's do the manga minute. And the first one is not really my cup of tea. I put it that way. But I was thinking of Bob Jeer when I did this. So I'm not really a tattoo man myself. I can't find it now. Hang on. Right, here we go. So I've got to get rid of this comment. Right. And it really is a full minute this time, if I can find it. Right, the manga minute. This one's dedicated to Bob in London. The first one especially. Right, there you go. We'll have another manga minute next week. It's just for fun, guys. Don't take it too seriously. Right, I'm going to finish this. I'm not going to finish the stream, but you know the Japanese girls we've been doing every week? Franco said they're not really his favorite part of the stream. I'm going to finish this week with 2. I'm going to finish with one of the new ones and the one that started it all. And this is down to I think this is a language. The Japanese were trying to teach. They're trying to learn English in a kind of cute way. And I've got 2 more. Here's one of the new ones, and we'll finish off with the one we started. And then that's absolutely it.
I can't stand the sight of you. I can't stand the sight of you. I can't stand the sight of you. I can't stand the sight of you.
And I tell you what, it's quite appropriate, because the one that I'm going to play you now is 2 reasons. It's the one that started it all, and we won't have them again. And this actually explains me very well at the moment.
I have a bad case of diarrhea. 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 I have a bad case of diarrhea.
There you go. No more of the Japanese English classes, but they were cute while they lasted. Okay, let's get back into it. Let's see what everyone's saying. Right, I've got to be careful with you, JB. I've heard many Japanese ladies say that to me. Okay, let's see if we can get a sensible comment out here. Right, is it Sean Marsberg? Why you leave your wife? Do you have any children? Well, firstly, it's none of your business. Secondly, I'm not leaving her. And thirdly, yes, I do have children. Right, windows open. Dr. Sweeney, yeah. I don't know if he's still in the stream. He's still here, Ed. Right. Paul Hoskins says they don't move like that when I. Okay, Paul, it's that time of night. Let's change this picture now. It's getting late. We've had the manga minute. Let's do something a bit more racy. Let's have that up there. But you can't see, of course, because I'm in the way. If I just give you a quick, there you go. 3 pretty ladies there. Okay. Right. Okay. Hard Tulip, how you doing? Right, your email you sent me was very, very interesting. And what I did, I was going to have a chat with you on WhatsApp. And I'm a bit of a dinosaur with technology. And I couldn't figure out how to get my WhatsApp username to send to you. So what I did, I took a scan of the QR code. And actually, I sent that to you. I don't know if you got it or not. Feel free to contact me if you want to have a chat about anything. I won't mention any of the content of your email here because it's very, very personal. I did read it. And like I said, I did send you my information. So if you want to get a bloody beer burping like mad, if you want to get in touch, then give me a shout and we'll have a chat. Yeah, you say, JB, do you still know the man, Peter? I'd pay some good coin for those uniforms. Yeah, but you imagine what it was like for him, because he'd have them uniforms in his home and he'd look at them, and each one of those uniforms came from a girl that he'd spent time with, if that makes sense, So quite thrilling for him, I guess. Okay. Yours travels. Where are we? That you're up there. If you have nothing to hide, you're all good. Yeah, exactly. That's what I just said. Yeah. Okay. Michael Genius, George Michael have done the Arab guy and taken his uniform. All right. Bottle baby. You're right. You have a right to privacy, even for the. You have a right to privacy. But the problem is, in the world we live these days, your rights aren't always protected, are they? In theory, they are. What can you do? What are you going to do? You're right. You're not wrong. But what are you going to do? Right, we got into this whole privacy thing now. Paulie Buffalo, session messaging can be used without a mobile number. Okay. I mean, even laptops, right? I remember when you bought a laptop, you'd set up Windows and you were anonymous because you just set it up, next, and there was Windows. You can't do that now. When you set up, you've got to have a Microsoft account. You've got to have an email account to register it. They want to know who you are, your inside leg measurements. So when you buy, I mean, I recently bought a laptop from Dell, a nice one. And I set it up, and I can't just go in anonymous. I have to set it up. But again, I've got nothing to hide, so I'm not looking at any. I do look at naughty stuff on the internet, but not that stuff. If you know what I mean, right? So I've got nothing to worry about. Eric Whitfield or Whitefield, Peter, have you got a date fixed yet from when you are moving? Not moving because I haven't got any offers on my house yet. Unfortunately, the market's gone a bit cold. People are worried about the cost of living. And no, nothing's happening, but I am going out there in October for a couple of months. TG2450, Google and Apple know a lot more than the police. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's move away from this subject. You are all true. I mean, it's all about privacy. Paulie Buff said encrypted email, Porsche mail. Yeah. Yeah. There is lots of options. I mean, I know somebody who didn't want to go to Thailand because he didn't want to go through all the Thailand pass, because he just thought that was a way that the Thais were documenting us all. So he was saying it was an excuse for the Thais to, get everything on us. So you get the Thailand pass and they know your inside leg measurements. And he didn't want to go through all that because he just felt very kind of paranoid about it. And I used to say to him, look, don't worry about it. You're not got anything to worry. But he swore blind. He didn't want to do it, and he didn't do it. And Thailand pass is gone now, and now he's going. Okay, David. Hi, Peter. Is Stumbles in Bangkok open, up and running? It was when I was there in December, so I don't see any reason for it not to be. Do you know how much rent they pay in there? You won't believe it, right? I was talking to the manager in Stumble and this was about 3 years ago, actually, not lately. And we were talking about how guys go into a bar and they get the girl's number online. Because, if you go into a bar, even somewhere like Stumble, what happens is You go in, you talk to the girl, and you think, I want to spend time with her. You pay a bar fine. And a lot of the guys now, the bar fine's really expensive now. You know, it's like £20 or something, isn't it? And people are like, well, I don't want to pay that, you know. So what they do, they go in, they talk to a girl, buy her a drink, and they're like, are you online? Yeah, I'm online. You swap details. What time do you finish? Okay, I'll call you online later. Yeah, okay. And then they send a message to go, I'm in the Nana Hotel car park, see you in 5 minutes. And they avoid that bar fine. And I don't know how I got into this conversation with this manager, but I did. And I kind of tried to justify and say, well, you can't blame people. You know, look how much a beer is. It's like, you know, you're charging £5. And this is 3 years ago, right? 180 baht for a Heineken. You know, a lady's drink is 200 baht. Bar fines. And he said to me, and I've got no reason to doubt him, but he said to me, he said, do you know how much rent we pay on Stumble Inn? And this was, like I said, about 3 to 4 years ago. And I thought he was going to say something like, you know, 200,000 baht a month, because that's a lot of money, isn't it? Do you know how much he told me? You don't, but I'll tell you, 1.5 million baht a month in rent. Okay, so 1 million baht is like £25,000. So their rent for that Stumble Inn, and I would imagine it's the same for all of them, is about £40,000 a month just in rent. But then on the other side of the coin, if you look at it, they're open from 10 o'clock in the morning. It's full all day. It's full all night. They're serving beer. They're serving coffees. They serve food. You know, try to calculate what they would make a day, and then over a month, there must be a profit in it, or they wouldn't be there, right? Guns and Plebs said, what was the answer to the competition? It was number 3. Number 3. I did run the answer again, but it was number 3. We've still got the Ladyboy competition, still got over 400 in, so I won't put it on for a while, because you know what it's like. As soon as we get into the Ladyboy competition, I'll lose about 50 people. It's like, ugh. Right. Let's see. Let's try and get somebody in we haven't spoke to. We haven't had any yet. Okay. A Monga with a bottle of Viagra. JB, my Monga laptop blue screen when I tried to use a member recondition feature. Google said it was because it was only up to 12 inches. All right. Yeah. Nice one. Okay, Hard Tulip says, Edward Sweeney has just come back from Romania. In one town, they had to put large multiple eyes carved into the roofs of buildings to make people paranoid, like in 1984. Okay, a bit late in the day for me to take that one in. Rumble. Future facial recognition cameras could identify you taking a bar go home, and if she gives evidence, well, you know, I've lived the best of it out there. I mean, I was out there in the early 90s, and it was very quaint and very simple back then. I kind of agree with that. Look, Carefree42 says Mongas have nothing to hide. Something that always gets me is these people who haven't been to Thailand before, and they leave comments that say things like, oh, you're encouraging, not me personally, but, you know, all this sort of thing. They say, you're encouraging sex trafficking, and these girls are forced into the bars. You know, they're forced. They always use this thing, they're trafficked into the bars. And it's like, you can't tell me. It's like, no, she can work in a factory and earn 5,000 baht a month, or she can work in a bar and make 10,000 baht a night. You do the maths, right? You know, they don't, you know, they want an iPhone, they want a designer handbag. You know, I've never, I mean, you can't tell people, you know, they just think, oh, they're forced and, you know, they're trafficked. Okay, let's see. Right, so Real Space Hobo says next time read the right answers instead. I don't know if that's directed at me or somebody else, because I told you the right answer. Okay, thank you, Franco. Right, Pelly says, is there any place to play? Come on, is that a joke? Let me put that up there. Pelly says, is there any place to play chess in Pattaya? Well, okay, look, I'm not taking the mickey. I don't know. I'm not into chess myself. There isn't much you can't get in Thailand. I'm sure if you wanted to play a game of chess, you could train a bar girl up and she'll play with you every day. Chess as well. Right. Okay, Donna Pearson said, what are the consequences of getting caught with a bar girl by the police? What happens? Nothing really. I mean, it's not, it is, you know, it is illegal in Thailand, but it's kind of not, you know, they don't go after guys who, you know, it's not something they go after you for. I mean, it's like, I've never heard, in 30 years, I've never heard of a case of a guy being arrested because he's with a bar girl, you know, never, ever. Shaggy Rogers says, I'm a monger and proud of it. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, see, Mercy Pool says, exactly, Peter, they're not forced. I mean, there might be the odd case, I would say more so in the Thai community. You know, the the Thais have a big industry of it that we don't see, and perhaps there's more of it in there. But you know, when you're talking about a place called Pattaya, I mean, the girls in the village talk. So what will happen? There'll be a girl goes back to her village. She's got an iPhone. She's wearing a lot of 24-karat gold. She's giving her mother and the family a lot of money. She's bringing nice takeaway food. She buys the family a motorbike. Well, the other girls in the village are like, you know, hey, what's going on here? You know, and they'll have a chat. What's going on? Well, there's this place, you know, Pattaya. This is what goes on. And, you know, when they arrive in Pattaya, they're not like you see them in the bars. You know, when you see them, you walk down the beach road and they're screaming, hey, handsome man, and they're in a bikini. They're not like that when they get there. There's a time, you know, they're very shy. A lot of the girls, when they first get there, they're very, very shy. And it takes time before they actually, I mean, if you go back to the Nat and Dave cartoon, I don't know if you remember that, but you remember in the early days, she was just helping her friend in a bar, and it slowly became more of a working in a bar. And it is very much like that in the bars. Not that I'm an expert. Right, Andy Smith, I would stand more chance winning a chess game than Connect 4. I always lose. I'll tell you the trick to the Connect 4, because they are very, very good. There's a couple of tricks I'll tell you. You know, the Connect 4, if you want to win, because they always win. I win quite a lot now. There's a couple of tricks. Firstly, one of the tricks I have when you're playing Connect 4, when you're getting close to winning, they start talking and putting you off. They'll say things and make eye contact and a little sexy smile, and they'll try everything in their arsenal to put you off. Okay, so you end up just, instead of concentrating on the game and thinking, right, okay, where do I go? It's very casual. You're like, yeah, and you just drop the thing and, oh, you've won. Right, that's the first trick. So when you get into that stage, ignore her, concentrate on the game, because I hate it when you win, right? In a nice sort of way, right? The other thing to do is, and I've had this a few times, I'll be playing the game and I'm starting to win. You know, she can see I'm starting to win. One of the bar girls, her friends will come along, they stand together and she's like, and I'm like, come on, I'm playing her. I'm not playing two of you. I'm not playing all the girls in the bar. Because when they, you know, they don't want to see the girls in the bar lose. They take it really seriously. And when you start winning, you'll see that you look at it next time. You think it's a very casual game, but they take winning extremely serious, extremely serious. And if you say to one of them girls, if you get good at it and you say to one of them girls, look, I'll tell you what, I'll play you for 100 baht. If you win, you get 100 baht. You'll see her play a different game, guys. You really will. She won't be talking casually. She won't be flicking her eyelids. She'll be on that board, on that thing, homed in. And it doesn't matter who comes this way, who comes that way. She wants that 100 baht and she will try her best to get it. It's quite fun to watch, actually. Right, Paul Scarf, like Peter says, girls in Pattaya are far from forced to be there. Why do you think they hide from the camera? Because they've made the conscious decision to be there. Yeah, and the other thing is, Ed mentioned this on his stream once. Matthew Cartwright, if you're still out there, I'm on the whiskey now, look. Like Ed said on his stream one day, and it is true, I did a couple of videos where I filmed girls on the beach road and stuff, but it's not good to do it, because a lot of these girls, they don't tell their families. They say, look, I'm going down to Bangkok to work in a beer bar as a cashier or a waitress. And, you know, you start putting all that on the internet. They've got internet in the villages. Of course they have it. So it's not good, really. Right, Matthew says, all right, you'll talk to someone else. Stephen says, maybe you will visit there one day. You never know. All right, I don't know. A lot of private conversations going on here yet. Okay, Lil, I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Lil? Okay, we're not in China yet. Facial recognition is not licensed for that use in the UK. It may be not be licensed, but there's a lot of things that go on that are kind of on the fence, if that makes sense. Right, Mark, and when I said there's cameras in London that do facial recognition, I didn't say government cameras or police cameras. I just said cameras. There's organizations who probably sail close to the wind, if that makes sense. Marky J, I like the dice game. Last time I went to Phuket, by the end of the week, I was doing so well. We were paying for drinks and I was winning. I don't actually play that game, and I don't play the game with the sticks. I like the Connect 4. I like that a lot. Right, Hard Tulip says, I have sadly read online that the women beggars on the street is all. Yeah, I read this recently as well. I swapped around. Yeah, one of the government ministers came out and said recently, which shocked a lot of the Thais. He actually said, he said to the Thais, don't give money to the beggars, which shocked some people. And the reason being is because what he was saying is, you know, the Thais in a decent job are making anywhere between sort of 10, 11, 12,000 baht a month. And some of these beggars were making kind of like 7,000 baht a day. I don't know if that's an exaggerated figure, but he basically said, don't give them any, you know, don't give them any begging money. Right. Dutch Frank, internet in the village to my spinner life. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you go to like a hamlet where they're just a few houses on sticks with a buffalo underneath, yeah, I mean, but they got phones. There's nowhere in Thailand I don't think that you can't. There might be the odd cold spot, but you can pretty much get internet on your phone anywhere nowadays. And I'm going to talk about this again, guys, because you might not have heard me talk of this. We're talking about technology now. Now, guys who come into this stream regular, you'll remember me speaking about this before, but I'm going to mention it again. One thing you got to think about, cameras, right? You can get a pen like that, and that's the camera, right? And it's on the side, or you can put it in an aircon. Be very careful, guys, because in a lot of the hotels now, especially in Pattaya, you've got to look out for hidden cameras. Why are the hidden cameras there? People put them in for a thrill, right? They'll put them in this country, they hide them in ladies' changing rooms, they hide them in toilets. But I have heard of many, many cases now in tourist areas, especially in Thailand, where they'll put hidden cameras in the air vents, they put hidden cameras in fire, the fire thingies on the ceiling. It's not something that's going to do you any harm, but just think about it. If you come home after a hot night and you're laying there naked and sweaty, the last thing you want is somebody, looking down on your meat and two veg, is it? There's a couple of things you can do to look out for this. There are some apps that you can put onto your phone, and if you point them at certain objects, I don't know exactly how they work, but you can get these apps for free, and they'll tell you if there's a camera there. And obvious things to look out for is all the plugs around the room. Just check them. Look, is there anything in the plugs, like USB chargers that might seem to be like a free service they supply it, or anything, any kind of plug or static thing laying around. The other thing that's very, very obvious, the fire, I forget what you call it, the fire detector, if there's smoke, the smoke alarm, right? It should be in the middle of the room. If that's been moved, it's directly over the middle of the bed, and there's a kind of paint circle in the middle, then that's an obvious thing. But it's something to think about. It's something with technology that's happening these days. So you just got to not be paranoid about it, but keep it on board, because there's pervs and there's pervs, aren't they? But I mean, there are guys who are voyeurs, and they just like to watch that. And I suppose it can be quite a good show watching bar girls and foreigners. Right, Dutch Frank says, Peter, you always show my most intelligent comments of the bunch. It's purely by accident, Dutch Frank, because I don't catch them all. As you know, we had a hardcore troll in earlier. I managed to get rid of him, but if I see a message and it's sensible, I put it up. I can't, the problem is with the comments these days, there's a lot of guys kind of talking to each other. And for me to read them comments don't make any sense, because he's saying something to another guy that's not of no interest to anybody else. So I'm always looking for the comments where people are asking me a direct question, or they're giving me some information that might be useful to you guys. Okay, if a girl wants to take you to a village, do you go, or is it a trap, or do you say, I don't want to meet the parents? And how? No, you don't. You wouldn't say, I don't want to meet your parents. That is disrespectful. But if you meet a girl and you like a company, but you're not that serious about it, and you don't want to go to a village, just tell her, well, maybe next time. I don't feel like it. I'm tired. Maybe next time. And you just do it. Let her off the hook nicely. But of course, if you've fallen in love with her and you're planning to marry her, then yeah, you've got to go up to the village. Okay, how do you tell the difference between a hardcore troll and a softcore troll? Well, in my book, a hardcore troll is somebody who puts multiple messages until he gets noticed. So just go bang, bang, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and they're very, very offensive messages, right? Very offensive. And he's copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. That's what I call a hardcore troll. A softcore troll is somebody, I would say, who'd come in and say something that seemed to be innocent, but they're having a little dig at you. You know what I mean? Like somebody said earlier, when I said I take £5,000 for a month, or £3,000 for a month, and they're like, oh, you spend £3,000 a month? And I had to explain, well, no, I don't, but this is why. And it's kind of like a soft core troll, isn't it? That's what I mean by the difference between hardcore and softcore. Right. Well, that's a question that I'm not even going to answer, because firstly, I'm married and I don't even use prostitutes in Thailand. So it's a bit of a silly question, because it's not the sort of question, it's not a very respectful question to ask somebody, is it? You shouldn't be asking questions like that. Okay, so Dutch Frank, Peter got the go to last. Peter got the go to last comment button since today. Okay, not really sure what that means. Yeah, James Bond always checked every hotel room with a fine tooth comb. License to thrill. You know those James Bond films. They were okay. The last one I went to the cinema was Diamonds Are Forever, where the diamonds were on a thing in the. That was in Ventnor in the Isle of Wight. That must have been the 70s, late 70s. But you know, I like. I'm not a big fan of those movies. 007, James Bond, they're okay, but what used to get me was those corny lines that come out. Like you get Sean Connery's fighting with somebody and he'd throw somebody over a balcony, he landed on an electric fence and the guy's buzzing away dying, and Sean Connery would look over and say, shocking. You know, it's just so cringeworthy. Right, okay. So Farang Travels, I'm going to get rid of you, mate, because you're starting to piss me off now, okay? You're gone. Right, okay. Cohort 61 says, I like the classic Bond films. Yeah, they're all right. They're Christmas movies, aren't they? Okay. Right, Hard Tulip. So, Peter, these hidden cameras in hotel rooms in Thailand, when we bring a girl back, can our lovemaking end up on adult porn sites? Well, I mean, in theory, yes, because if you think about it, they record, don't they? So someone puts a camera up there with an SD card in it. Maybe they can start it remotely. So they see you come back to your room. They know you got up to the room. They walk past your door and do a remote, and it will save the data, won't it? But I wouldn't get paranoid about it. And I mean, if you're an old guy with a big podgy belly, I shouldn't think anybody would want to watch that on the internet. Yeah, that's it. That was Sean Connery. Shocking, positively shocking. Can you think of any? That'll be a good one. You can tell me here. Do you remember those James Bond movies? Can you think of any of the shocking, any of the corny lines they used to come up? Because there was a lot of them. Even Roger Moore, he was in I remember he was in a spaceship with a girl, and M, or I forget the name of his boss, came on. He said, "What are you doing right now, 007?" And he came out with some corny remark. He was with a girl, and it was like something like, "Oh yes, it's rising nicely." I can't remember, but if you think of any, let me know. Okay. A Nomad Overseas, Bottle Baby Haha. So you're talking to someone else again. Not sure if you remember the Jack the Nipper game also. Watch my you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Clive says, most basic way to look for cameras is to switch the lights off and look for red light dots. But the only thing I'd say for that, Clive, I mean, if I was putting cameras in people in a room, any red dots, I would put a small piece of black electrician's tape over it. You know, all my personal electronics, like I've got a tablet that I look at, and I've got a little bit of tape over the camera because I'm paranoid about some hacker will be able to turn on my camera, and I just don't like the thought of somebody watching me when I don't know they're watching me. Right, Ed's still here. What are you saying, Ed? Egyptian builders, a spy who loved me. Egyptian builders. Egyptian builders, a spy who loved me. Yeah, but what was the corny line in there, Edward? That's gone straight over my head. I don't know that one. Right, Nina, what would you concretely do if you find out your room has a hidden camera? Well, it's simple. I'd go down to reception and I would say, "There's a hidden camera in my room. Take it out now." What else can you do? And I'd certainly go to the management and report it and make sure they understood it. Okay. Mercy Pool, there are many apps you can download that show your wireless devices. There is, look, if you're really getting a bit paranoid here, what you can do, go onto Google one day when you've got an afternoon and just do all the research. How do you get the free apps? How do you find cameras in your room? You'll get all the information. Just another Carlito says, how about Goldfinger, Puss galore? Yeah, well, yeah, I remember that one. Right, Stephen 4X, Thailand. I bought a little slider for £1 for my laptop webcam. I must have these days. Yeah, my new laptop is very good. It's got a slider built into it, so when you're ready to use the camera, you just slide it across, and if you're not using it, you push it across that way. But the thing is, on a tablet, for instance, I've got a tablet, quite an old tablet, which sometimes I use if I'm just I'm in the garden or something like that. I just want to look up something. Then I've got the camera I've got the cameras actually taped up because I just don't like the thought of it. Okay. Eugene Vincent said, did the wife beater make an appearance in the wheat beater? No, I only wore the wife beating vest once because it was so hot. And that's one of the reasons I didn't do the Sunday one either. Okay. Chris, hi, Peter. I saw this absolutely stunning 22-year-old bar girl. I was just wondering, are all the bar girls available for bar fine or are they selective to agree? In my experience from watching Friends, no, I mean, they're working in the bars to make money, aren't they? Now, obviously, they'll like a certain type of customer. And believe it or not, guys, and I've spoken to bar girls who are not looking at me like a customer. I've had friends who own bars. And obviously, some of the younger girls will say, oh, I prefer old men. And you'll think, well, that's a load of bollocks because, you know, of course, you'd like to go over a young man. But with the older guys, they have an easier time of it, if that makes sense. And in answer to your question, that no, I mean, you know, it's all about money at the end of the day. If you've got money in your pocket, then that's what used to make me laugh when you got guys in Thailand and they used to walk around like peacocks and they thought they were so good looking that the girls wouldn't ask them for money. But what they failed to grasp was that those girls are there because they want to feed their families. They've got children they need to feed. They've got to support lots and lots of things. They've got to pay bills. And these guys go there and think, well, I'm so handsome. You know, I can take this girl and she won't ask me for any money. And they don't want that. They'd rather go with some old guy who's going to give them 2,000-3,000 baht because that's what they're there for. They want to earn money. Neil Thompson says, all on iPads or have Blink in their homes could be watched right now. It's like the Lexus. Is it called the Lexus? The Google, the thing you speak. What's it called? It's like a thing you speak into, the Google Lexus, something like that. You know, turn my lights on. Well, they reckon that staff in Google can listen to conversations through there. I haven't got one. Okay, David Kernan, is it Peter? It was when Roger Moore fought Jaws near the pyramids. The building fell on top of Jaws and Moore. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, yeah. I'll read that out again. David said, Peter, it was when Roger Moore fought Jaws near the pyramids. The building fell on top of Jaws and Moore said, Egyptian builders, shaking his head. Yeah, okay, nice one. Yeah, got it. Yeah, so sorry, Ed, I didn't quite get it there because I'd actually forgot the line. But thanks for explaining that, David. Bottle Baby says, I like the old days better when it was a hole cut in the wall, had sound as well. Yeah, okay. Okay, Stephen says they want the 444, not some all night long studs, so they come back. Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't know what the 444s are, 4 inches, 4 minutes, 4,000 baht. Right. Ivan, welcome into the stream. Right. If your phone is unlocked, you CNA get a SIM card for internet access. Yeah, well, that's very easy to do. You can get you can buy SIM cards everywhere, even 7-Elevens, I believe. I get mine at the airport. Okay, I think it's time for the Ladyboy competition. We've still got over 400 in. It'll be interesting to see how many are in after this. So you know the game, guys. You've been here before. Let me just take the comment off. So the idea, as always, let's just have a look. Yeah, I'm going to show you a card with 8 pictures on it. 7 of them are ladyboys. There's 1 real lady. And the idea of the game is I just want to know which picture is the real lady. I don't want to know who the ladyboys are. I just want to know who is the real lady. Okay, let me just make sure I don't cock it up. Right. All right, guys, here we go. Give me some answers. Right, let's see. Do you know your lady boys? Right, okay, straight in with Richard C, who's got the right answer. Well done, Richard. First time. Right, okay. Simon Goodson, no. Real Reno, no. Shaggy Rogers, yes. Ivan, no. Mercy Paul, no. Brian Street, no. Pelly, yes. Amonga with a bottle of Viagra, no. Javier, no. Ivan, no. World Traveller Forever, no. Matthew Cartwright, no. Simon Mays, no. Lester Paul, no. Steve P, no. Kevin in Siam, no. Gabor, I can't pronounce that, sorry. Yeah, you got it right. You got it right. Well done. I keep looking because I'm not sure myself. Mark P, yes, well done. William Ford, no. Paul Hoskin, all right, Paul. Jam Jar Johnny, no. Vlad the Inhaler, no. Lewis C, no. Deke the Trucker, not this time, mate. Ivan, wait, no, not right. TGC 2450, no. Stephen 4X, yes, well done. Barang, no, not this time. Yoss Travels, no. Omar Blanchfield, no. Michael Mead, no. Mike Sands, no. Nick T, no. Chris, yes, well done. Gemini Star, no. Clive, no. Real Space Hyde, well done. Alexander the Great, well done. Citizen Mikey, well done. Bendover, no. Abraham Ford, no. Taxi Talal, no. Dude Love, no. Ivan, no. Keenock, no. Hugh Jass, no. Andy Smith, no. Adam, no. Neil Thompson, no. Alex, no. Simon, no. Eric Whitfield, yes, well done to you. You've got it. Rumbo, no. Errol Palmer, no. Paul Scraff, no. Stephen Roberts. Geezer, sorry, mate, not this time. Then, no. Bottle Baby, no. Robert Guilford. We're going to have to whiz through this because it's gone on a bit now again. Joe M, yes, well done to you. You got it. Hard Tulip, no. JS, no. Sean St. Peter. Is it? Sean St. Pierre. Right, I'm still doing the competition at the moment. Nino, yes, well done. A Nomad Overseas, you got it. Fort Lass, no. Darren Howe, no. Clive again, no. Nick D, no. Quali Scott, well done, yes. Dutch Frank, no. Ocean Ghost, no. William Sullivan, no. James Casey, yes. I'm going to have to skip through these real quick. I'm just going to do the right answers now because I'll be doing it all night otherwise. This is the right answers, yeah. James Casey, yes. 20 Rothmans, yes. Good seeing the screen. Kevin Lampard, yes. Who else? Parky, you got it. Super Nice, yes. Kevin Lampard, yes. Paulie Buffalo, yes. Clive Allen, quite a lot of yeses this week, much better than last week. Mr. Superstar, yes. Rampel, Madeep, is it? Yeah, you got it. Simon Mays, yes. Poor old Clive. Right, I think we're there. I think we're just about there, guys. Deke the Trucker, another second guess. No, wrong again. Clive, well done. You got it. Well done, mate. You got it. McLaren F1 race. You got the right answer there. Paul, you got it. I'm going to have to show the answers up, guys, because it's gone on a bit long. But well done to everybody who got it right. I will show you now who the real lady is out of the Lady Boys. You ready? So well done if you got that right. But it is very, very difficult, I know, because I'm only showing the faces. If maybe next week I'll try and find pictures where you can see their feet and the hands and the whole body, and that'll make it a lot easier. Shaggy Rogers, we get this every week actually. Shaggy Rogers, to be honest, I'll take them all. All right. Let me see if I've got a nice picture to change to. Well, maybe got one from last week, maybe. Let's put this one up again. This is actually my favorite. I like that one. I think this is a very nice picture. I said I'd never put it up again, but there you go. Right. Okay. We've been going for over 2 hours now, guys. I'm going to have to water the daisies. I was going to try and get through it. So give me about, I won't be long. I'll be about 30 seconds. I'll just put this up. I'll go and water the daisies and we'll come back for a little bit more chat, see what's going on with you guys in the chat there. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Just get this right. I'm glad I'm not having any complaints about the sound tonight, because it's always a bit nervous when I've got a new microphone tonight and it seems to be working excellent. I spent a lot of money on this actually, £4.99 from eBay. I was gutted with the one I bought for £25. Sounded a load of crap. But anyway, okay. Right. Where are we? Okay. Well, you would say that with a name like Paulie Buffalo. It doesn't look very sick at all. It's just a scam. All right. So everyone's saying the same thing. The buffalo looks fine. Right. Okay. Canary spreads his wing. I thought you said who was the lady boy. Wasn't listening. It's the same every week. There's 7 lady boys and 1 lady. It used to be. It's kind of evolved into a different kind of competition over the last few months. There's a lot of people who don't actually like it. When I do the ladyboy competition, I had 410 in the stream. It's down to 356 now, because every time I put the ladyboy competition on, I don't know why, a bunch of guys go. I've never had any complaints about it, but a lot of people do like that competition. So what I did, I used to do it an hour into the stream, so I leave it towards the end now, and I just find, I guess some people have to go to bed. I know Damon's getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I would imagine he's not around anymore. But I'll keep it going as long as people like it. Yeah, you've got a good memory. Javier says the vampire girl on the left. Yeah, she's really cute. This one here, she's got that vampire face, hasn't she? Yeah. They actually work in a club in Bangkok. They're not bar girls. Well, what would you define them as? Kind of waitress / hostesses. I don't know which nightclub they're in, but they all work as a team in a nightclub. There's a whole bunch of them. Right. No, not really. Where's that? Oh, I've lost it. Oh, here we go. Edward Chasey says, why is that going up there? Oh, it's not Hard Tulip. Where is it? He's probably gone now, Hard Tulip. No, wrong one again. Right. Andrew Hammond said, Edward Sweeney, are you doing a live stream with Peter this Sunday? He probably won't. He's doing his own thing. It'd be nice if he did. I don't know what it is. When Ed and I do a live stream, it always goes down well with everybody. We get the same kind of crowd in. But I don't want to pester the guy. I mean, if he does his own thing, that's fine. Right. Edward Chase says, watering daisies in 30 seconds, no prostate problems. Not really, because I've been drinking beer and whiskey since 9 o'clock. That's the first time I went to the toilet, and I make sure I get it out as fast as possible, because I don't want to lose people out the stream. Alexander the Great, great stream, Peter. But when people say "but," they're normally going to insult me. Right, great stream, Peter. But I'm up early tomorrow. Okay, that's not too bad. Have a good weekend, Night Lives. Yeah, thank you, Alex. I do realise that. Friday night, there's a lot of people got to get up on a Saturday. I love it now. I finished my job on Thursday. I used to get up every morning at 7 a.m. and I didn't have to get up today. And I woke up at 7, but I laid there, and it's so nice to lay there and think I don't have to get up. I have to go down at 9 and let Benji out for his, go to the toilet, my dog. But it's so nice not to have to, jump out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning. Isn't that hard in the winter when it's cold and the rain is lashing against the windows? And it's cold, and you've got to get out of bed, and horrible. Right, okay. Donald says, anybody marry a girl and go live in the village? How is it, that lifestyle? You need a 5-hour, a 2-day stream to explain that. I don't want to be negative, but let me just say this. I do know people have done it successfully, and I do know people who failed at it. And the people who are successful, they find something to do. Okay, you cannot go to a Thai village and just sit around all day drinking beer or just getting up, having your breakfast and walking around. You've got to find something to do. So the successful ones, there's quite a few of them. There's some older guys like retired working. No, that's the other guy, Chris. There's a guy called Retirement. What's his name now? An old guy, lives up in East End, and he's got kind of a farm plot with his Thai girlfriend, and they grow stuff, and they're busy. Simon from Land of Smiles. Do you remember him? He's in the UK now. I don't know him. He's got a place, and he was always doing kind of building work and stuff around his property, so that kept him busy. So I would say if you go to live in a village, and if you can keep yourself busy, it's probably going to be successful if you have an honest go. But if you go up there, I've known guys to go into villages after 5 o'clock. There's nothing to do. The Thai guys sit around and play cards and drink. There's hardly any street lighting up there. You know, and what happens with a lot of expats, there's nobody up there that speaks English except his girlfriend. She goes off with her family and does something for the evening. They're bored. They've got nothing to do. They've got time on their hands. They start drinking whiskey. They become alcoholics. And I would also go as far to say that if you retire in Thailand, again, you really do need to find something to do, because you can't, just, is that Ed again? You can't just go up there and do nothing. Franco says he's off to bed. All right. Good night, Franco. And then who? Right. Okay. Right. That wasn't Ed. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. Ramamandip, haven't seen you in tonight. The same 50 people can't handle the lady boys every week. Well, it's a different competition every week, but I suppose really you got to think about it in a logical way. People come into the stream. There's all sorts of different people who come in here. There's people who come in because they've got nothing better to do on a Friday night. There's people who come in because they want real information about Thailand, what's going on, news and stuff like that. There's people who come in here because they just want to have a few beers with me and we do competition. It's just for fun. But there are some serious people who come in, and when you put on a ladyboy competition, it's like, no, this is horrible. I'm going. You know, that's fair enough. That's their personal choice, isn't it? Okay. Football 442, best area for live in Bangkok if you only go bars once per week. I personally, I wouldn't disagree with you here, but I wouldn't limit it to once a week. I would say do what you feel comfortable with, and try to recognize when you're having a bit of a problem, because alcoholism in Thailand is a big deal. And I'll tell you how, if you know me, you know what I'm going to say here. But the way I got round to it, I was always paranoid about becoming an alcoholic, because I like a drink in the evening. I drink most nights. I know it's not healthy, but how I became a non-alcoholic, if that's the right way to say it in Thailand, I had a golden rule. I wouldn't drink in the daytime at all. And I mean, ever. I've gone to people's houses with their Thai wife, ran the pool in the afternoon, and they're drinking bottles of honey. And I just have one more. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I don't drink. Give me a coffee or a soda. And I never did. I never started drinking till kind of 9 o'clock at night. And when I went there in December and all the restrictions were on, okay, I went out at 5:30 and started drinking because I'd finished by 9. But you know, it can be a problem, and you have got to kind of monitor it. I have got a video on the channel. Don't become an alcoholic in Thailand, and my friend Bangkok Pat, he put up a very good video as well, which is worth watching. You've got to have something to do. Some people go out there and they play golf, or they've got various hobbies, but you've got to have something to do. You can't go and live in Thailand full time and have nothing to do. Right. Yeah, okay. Broadcast data. I'd have to go back 2 hours, but you can watch it on the rerun. But I'll keep it going for a little while longer. Good to see you in anyway. Brian says, Ed on Sunday, jet lag over. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Kev Mac. The ones that leave during Ladyboy competition are the mates you find with a headache towards the end of the night of looking for, you guessed it, a ladyboy. Well, you know, I don't want to point the dirty stick at anybody. They do. We know it. That's why I put them on late now. Oh, that's good. Okay. Right. Is that, do I pronounce that Jose? Because you missed a J. I'll take a chance and say Jose. Okay. Good day, Peter. How was the live stream been going? Seems I missed a large chunk of it. Cheers from Canada. Well, we start at 9 p.m. in the UK. It's been going for 2 hours and 18 minutes. I'll give it 10 more minutes. It's not going to be a 4-hour one tonight, guys. I'm a bit drained because I've been on the toilet quite a bit. Too much information, I know, but I've caught a bug and my fluids have been going out of my body. I'm taking some stuff now, but I do feel, I've been sleeping an hour here and now there on the couch. I'm not on top form today, I might come back on Sunday and do one on Sunday. You know what I said earlier, I'm planning to have a members stream on a Sunday, so I'll do half an hour regular stream, then swap over to a members stream. The membership's real cheap, like $4.99, $5 a month, right? And you can come in and join in on them streams, and also you get to watch videos early and stuff like that. If you think the $5's too much, then you can still enjoy the Friday night stream. Okay. Shagarod said, Peter, when you do your video showing your setup, will you be showing the famous daisies? Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Everybody else's daisies are that high. Mine are like a foot high. Okay, we're talking about the hidden cameras in the rooms again. DW says your phone camera can see infrared. That's presumably how they detect it at work. It's something like that. I started to read it, then I got sidetracked by something. But apparently, you know, when you got a phone, you've got two cameras, one on each side. Apparently, only one of the cameras can detect it because it's more sensitive. There's something in one of the cameras that can pick it up, but the other camera can't. And if you read up on it online, you'll discover what that is. And if you get the app, it will tell you anyway. Yeah. Wayne, somebody said to me one time, they said, what sort of girl, because I'm married, I can't really say too much, but they said, if you went to Thailand, what would be your type? Well, the vampire girl behind me there, that would be absolutely my type. Absolutely. Right. JB, I've got a sense of this. You could put a wig on next time you walk the daisies and pretend you're a ladyboy. Okay. No, I'm not taking Benji to Thailand. No, I've got a 24-year-old daughter who lives in her own place. She's got her own business, and between her and my other daughter and wife, he's on his last legs. He's old, so yeah, no, I can't take him to Thailand. No. Yeah, Paulie Buffer. I'm the only Farang in the village. You're referring to Little Britain. That was quite good, wasn't it? Charles Sanders. No, I've recently been checked up on that. I don't have any problems. Yeah, Keith Island says Simon's channel gone quiet. Well, he had to leave Thailand, didn't he? And he's had to kind of make money here with his missus, and I think they're planning to. I don't know the guy. I don't know nothing about him. I went to look at his channel one time because, you know, I do the stories, and somebody said, oh, there's another guy doing stories like you are. And I went to look at him, and I went through his videos, and I looked when his first one was, and actually he isn't doing video stories like I am. I'm doing stories like he is, because he started doing it before me. But I never came across him. So it wasn't a case of like, I went to see his channel, I thought, oh, that's a good idea, I'll do it. I wasn't aware of it. When somebody told me, I went back and you can look at the dates on videos, and I've seen that he started up probably a year or two before me, but he did a different format. His stories were kind of cliffhangers, you know, like episode number 22. You'd get to the end and it'd be like, right, well, so what happened? He'd say, I'll leave it there. You'll have to come back. Check it out next time. You're like, Jesus Christ. So I slept till 4 a.m. watching it, and you get to the end of it again, and you know, you think, oh well, I'm going to find out what happened this time, and it's like, here we go, what happened, and we'll leave it there. And I'm like, for God's sake, just tell us the end of the story. So, but you know, the internet's a big place. There's room for everybody. Right, where's Appleyard? Glad to see you, and you've obviously not been out of bed long. Good morning, Peter. Hope you're surviving the heat over there. It's actually okay today, Wes. This last few days over there, been around 3 degrees here, Melbourne. Sorry, I missed the stream lately. Work crazy. Yeah, I did mention that. Thanks for the super chat, Wes. I did mention that somebody told me that in some parts of Australia it's -3, and I thought, really? I didn't know Australia got cold. I thought it was a hot continent. You know, I just didn't realise. You must have seen the weather that we've had here in the UK. We were actually, Bangkok was 29 degrees, which is hot and humid. We in the UK, believe it or not, we were 40 degrees. 40 degrees and no aircon. It was awful. Absolutely awful. Yours Travel says, is it K's one is going to start doing stories? Well, that's fine. That's up to him. You know, I don't own YouTube. I don't have a monopoly on stories. If he wants to do stories, that's fine by him. I don't know if he realizes how much work's involved, because it is a long process. And I think I've seen a couple of his videos. He likes to go out and to full moon parties and things like that. You know, yeah, fine. I mean, it's, you know, it's not a competition. The internet's it's a big place. It's a big audience. He's younger than me. He's got a different audience, I would imagine. If he tells stories and they're nice, I'll watch them myself. But, you know, fair play. He can do what he wants. And, you know, yeah. Okay. Mercy Pool. Sorry I got in here late, Peter. I will set a reminder. It always makes me smile when people apologize. I mean, it's not like you have to be watching my stream, right? But thanks for that anyway. Right. A monger with a bottle of Viagra. While Bond is practicing Danish with Inga and making love to her, Bond says, I've always enjoyed studying a new tongue. Yeah, another corny Bond line. Jose again. I think it's Jose, right? P.S. Peter, how is your book doing on Amazon? I purchased a copy recently. Had it done well enough for a second? Oh yeah, absolutely. It's doing okay. My book on Amazon. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows by now. I've got a book on Amazon. It's not going to be on any. Let me just get rid of your comment there for a second, so I can use it as an excuse to plug it, as they say. where are we? There it is. Yeah. So I've got this book, real tales of love and loss in the land of smiles. It's doing okay, and what I'm really happy about is people are leaving nice reviews on Amazon, because I was a bit nervous. I'm not an author, to see a book with my name on it, I'm thrilled to bits. But yeah, I mean, it's doing okay. It's doing okay. I'm not going to get rich from it. I make a bit of beer money, but people have gone on to Amazon and they left comments. Good read, not too heavy. Enjoyed the book, and I'm happy with that. It's like 10 quid or something like that. I get 7 quid. Amazon keep part of it. I give a percentage to Andrew Hammond, who did all the editing for me, and it will buy me a couple of hotel nights, 2 or 3 well, a bit more than that. But I didn't do it to get rich. I didn't do it to get rich. I really didn't, guys. It was kind of fun, and I'm just chuffed to bits. I mean, for me, I'm going to go over old ground now. I've mentioned this before. I left school when I was 15 out of necessity, without any qualifications, because my father died when I was very, very young, and I went straight to a steelworks. 1975. I was 15, and I used to take my wages packet. It used to be a brown envelope with pound notes in it. I think I earned £2 a week, something like that. And I used to give it to my mother. She'd open it. She'd take £1 for herself and give £1 back to me for cigarettes. I used to smoke, and that's how it was in those days, and that's how it was. And a couple of weeks ago, I went up to Birmingham University, where my 21-year-old's just graduated, and she's got a bachelor's degree, right? So honestly, guys, for me, a guy who left school, I am qualified now. When I went into the hotels, I went back to school. I didn't go to uni, don't lie. I went to a kind of college, and I got qualifications to be able to get into food and beverage in the hotels. So I left school when I was 15 with nothing, no education, worked hard to give my money to my mum, because there was no welfare system. They didn't support us. If I didn't provide, I had a sister and all the rest of it. I'm not looking for violins or a medal or a sob story. I'm just saying that's how it was. So this is related to the book. So I said this before, for me to sit in an auditorium and see my daughter, and look at her and think, she's got a bachelor's degree, a bachelor's. When I was a kid, like I said last week, you would, if you said someone's got a bachelor's degree, you thought, oh, it must be a doctor or a scientist or and I'm looking at her, she's got that little square hat on, and she goes up with that bit of paper, and, she does the walk, and they name her, and the whole auditorium claps and cheers. I'm thinking, wow, it blows my mind. So with that thought, I'm also saying about the book. I left school at 15 with a limited education, and I've now, okay, it's about bar girls and guys who get ripped off by bar girls. It's hardly going to hit, as I keep saying, the bestsellers list, is it? It's hardly going to be next to, some scientist, some doctor who's invented the latest vaccine for monkeypox. It's not going to be sat on the shelf next to his book, is it? But for me, when I look at it, it really gives me a thrill. I left school at 15, no really qualifications, formal qualifications. Of course, I went on and bettered myself in life. But to look at this book and see my name on it, and you turn the book on the back cover and my picture's there. Honestly, guys, it's not about the money. You just can't. I can't get across the thrill. Honestly, I just look at it and I laugh. It makes me laugh. It really does. It's so, I'm proud of it. And I keep saying, I know it's about bar girls and guys, but it's a book and it's got my name on it. What else can I say? Right, Check Bound. Nice to see you in. Where? Oh, you're talking to someone else. Where in China will you be? Hope lockdowns don't. Yeah, they're still doing all the lockdowns in China, aren't they? Right, Clive, nice long comment there. Peter, when you're in Pattaya, do you laze about on the beach occasionally, or do you explore the surrounding area more? Have you been at the floating market? Yeah, you know what? Look, I'll be honest with this. I think the floating markets are BS, right? Even in Bangkok, in the old days, the floating market, traders put their goods on the boats. They went out and they sold all the goods. But now you go on the floating market in Bangkok, it's all shit, it's all, they come up to your boat and they're selling you crap. And it's the same in Pattaya. I don't want to be negative, but it's not really, what's the right word? It's for tourists, isn't it? It's for tourists. But in answer to, yeah, I've been to all them touristy places, the Big Buddha and the sign, and there's only so many places you go to Pattaya. But if I want to go to the beach, what I do is I go to Jumtin, even if I'm staying in Pattaya, because the smell of the sewers, in downtown Pattaya is awful, and they put all the sewage into the water and stuff. If you go to Pattaya, it's a lot cleaner. The air smells nicer, and it's just a lot more laid back. And what I'll do, I'll sit under that a canopy of umbrellas. I'll pay 30 baht for a deck chair for the afternoon. But what really pisses me off is when I've had a night out, I'm laying there, I'm dropping off to sleep, and some guy shakes my shoulder and he's trying to sell me a wooden motorbike. That pisses me off, you know. Right, Carlito. Peter, I forgot I emailed you and it kicked it back. Check your email on Thailand page. Here's what it reads. Look now on your Thailand bound webpage. Well, I have, Carlito, look, honestly, mate, I get emails every day. I've got probably 24 emails today. So I don't know. I forgot I emailed you and it kicked it back. Check your email on your Thailand page. Right. So I'm presuming you mean my website. Okay. So I don't think there's a problem because I do get guys sending the stories. But if you have any problems, you can just send it directly. Attach it as an attachment. Attach it as an attachment. Well, you're not going to attach it as something else, are you? But there's my email address. And what I'll do from next week, I'll put it in the description. Okay. Oh, and on the stories, if you're somebody who enjoys the stories, I've got 3. There's only 3 tomorrow because they're quite lengthy. You know, I'm always asking for stories to get sent in, and I'm going to say this as well. I always record the stories on a Saturday. So what I'll do, my routine is tomorrow and Sunday, I'll spend all weekend on the stories. I upload them on a Monday. I listen to them myself Monday night when I'm out with the dog. If they're okay, Tuesday I'll release them to the silver and gold members. It's one of the things they get, okay? And but one thing I'm going to explain, I have got quite a lot of stories. I will read them all out. And what happens is when somebody sends me a story, I always email them back saying, thanks for your story. Appreciate you sharing it with the viewers. When I read it, I'll send you an email. And unless I always email everybody who sends a story. So if you don't receive an email, it means I haven't received it. And on a rare occasion, very rare, I'll write to somebody and say, look, I'm really sorry, I can't use this story because there's too many spelling mistakes. There's too many grammar mistakes. They'll just write it and they don't even check it. There's too much editing. And then sometimes people redo it and send it back to me. But what I would say is what I've said before is if you've sent me a story and you're thinking, why isn't he reading it out? I sent it a month ago. Don't worry about it. I've got quite a lot now that I use a queuing system. And when I start taking the first 3, 4, whatever tomorrow, I start at the bottom. Say I've got 20, number 20, number 19, number 18. The new ones come in at the top. So I'm always going for the older ones first. So I will read it out. Okay, be patient. Brad from Oz. Hey, Peter, 30 sleeps till I'm in Thailand for my second trip. Love your work. Going to Pattaya for the first time. Looking forward to reading my story. Yeah, and Brad, I hope you took that in because I will read it. Unless I've written to you saying I can't use it, which is rare, you will hear it. You just got to be patient. And most of the guys who have gotten back to me when they've heard their story, because I rewrite them. I don't change the story, but sometimes I rewrite them because people will say something like, oh, I took this girl in a bar. I took her to my room and I rode her like a Blackpool donkey. Well, you can't read that out on YouTube. You know, I hope I got away with it because it's late here. You know, I'll say I took her back for drinks in the hotel and I tipped her. You know, so there is a lot of editing and I will read your story. But good to have you in the stream. Okay, Football 442. I listen to most of your live stream, but the stories I can't handle most of them are too negative in the meaning I don't want to hear people have bad interactions in the relationship. That's fine. I understand that. But what you've got to understand is people write to me and say the same as you and say, why don't you make them into happy endings? I won't change them. Guys go out to Thailand. A lot of them have bad experiences, not all, some, and they want to share it, get it off the chest, and they'll write the story as it happens. They send it to me. And other than grammar checks, I won't change it. I read it as it comes. Don't shoot the piano player. Do you remember that saying? A lot of people like the stories. I've got a lot of women as subscribers who have signed up just because they like those stories. People tinker about in their gardens, in their houses. They listen on headphones. They probably don't sit there watching me. They don't want to look at my ugly mug. A lot of people like them. I understand if you don't like them. Exactly. I do hear you. That's fine. But you know, you don't have to listen to them. That's a great thing about freedom of choice, isn't it? Okay. Jose, besides your book, your Nat and Dave animated series is legendary. I know it's unlikely you'll make another, but that was the reason I was subscribed in the first place. Jose, I'm gutted. Absolutely gutted. I'm so gutted. I'll have a little sip on this. Look. Lovely. No, I mean, I've said it time and time again. You know what I'm going to say. Simon did those for me. He could do them again. He doesn't want to do them. He could make the time, but it's not really worth his while financially, what I used to pay him. It's a shame, you know, and I've had other people offer. They can't deliver the same thing. Chris says the vampire girl is growing on me. She's lovely. Look. There you go. Lovely. Right. Okay, I've watched Ben's channel. Okay, I don't know who Ben is. Okay, Canary spreads his wing. I have stories, Peter, but not interesting enough. I think stupid mistake. Well, you know the thing is, I can read it if you send it, and as long as the grammar is good. You know what really pisses me off when I get stories and when people write them. I don't mind if somebody can't spell. I don't mind if people make mistakes, but I hate it when people write stories and they don't bother. They're just like and they don't go and put them through a spell check. I just them ones. I just say sorry, I can't use it. Too much editing. You can send it in. Let me look at it. What's the worst that can happen? Have you not heard that saying before, Hard Tulip? Not rolled. I rolled her like a Blackpool donkey. And if you're not from the UK, they have donkeys on the beach in some UK areas where the kids can go on the donkey and they walk up the beach. And it's a standard joke, you know, if you find a nice guy, I rolled her like a donkey, Blackpool donkey. Right. Yeah, well, that's what I say in all the stories. The code word for a roll in the bed on Thailand is aerobics, and you'll notice in the stories as well. I mean, what I'll say if a guy writes and he said a bar finder girl and took her back to the hotel and rolled her like a Blackpool donkey, I won't say that. I'll say he says it a bit more in detail than that. I'll basically say I took her back to the hotel for more drinks, and people have to kind of understand what I'm talking about. Right, Deep the Trucker, Peter, I play your stories in the background as I drive my truck through the night. Yeah, I mean, I know, Deep, that people do this because I get people contact me. Damien, for instance, you hear me keep talking about Damien, right? Because I know him now. And he's the same. He's got motorbikes. And what he does, he'll go out for a day and he'll spend a week polishing them, right? He's just one of those guys. He'll go out for an hour's drive and spend a week polishing them. He loves his motorbike. But he'll listen to my stories. But he doesn't sit there watching them. He'll have them on in the background. And then you can conjure up pictures, can't you? And I do it. Sometimes I'll record the stories and I've got to check them, and 3 days will go by, and I'll go out and think, I better check the stories. I'm listening to them, and when I'm editing the stories, I don't really listen to them like I'm listening to a story. I'm listening for mistakes. I'm editing. I'm changing things. And what happens is when I'm happy with it, and I think, I better check it. 3 days later, I'm walking with a dog and I'm listening to the story, and it's weird because it's me telling the story, but I'm enjoying it. I'm like, oh, that's really? Oh, I wouldn't have done that. And it's like, because I don't really take the story in so much when I'm editing them. It's only when I listen to them 3 days later. And it's a real weird feeling to listen to yourself telling stories because it isn't like yourself, if that makes sense. It's really weird. World Traveller Forever. Some young guys in Pattaya try to take girls back to their hotels and not pay. The stories of how that goes are surely interesting. Well, I've spoken to Thai girls who this has happened to, and basically what they do, they cut their losses. They're not interested. Like I said to you before, there's guys who go to Thai, and it's not fair. It's not fair because those girls are working in bars. You can be judgmental if you're a person who comes on here and you think, well, you're encouraging trafficking and all this sort of thing. They're in those bars because they want to make good money to support their families. And you get these guys who go there and they parade around Pattaya like peacocks, and I've seen them, and they. And they're like, oh, well, I don't pay for a girl in America or England or wherever. Why should I pay for a girl here? And they don't get it, right? They don't get it. Most of the guys in here have been to Thailand several times. They know what it's about, okay? They know the script, okay? They know it. They know they're going to Thailand to have a good. Let's talk about Pattaya. So you're going to Pattaya for a good time. It's all been set up, as I've said many, many times before. Everything there is set up to get the money from your wallet into their cash registers, right? No problem with that. Absolutely fine. They want you to have a good time, okay? They absolutely do. But, we understand that. But you get these guys who go there and they think they're so good looking that the girls will want to go with them for a bit of roly-poly and they won't want to be paid for it. And it makes them angry. And what I've spoken to girls, and I said, what's your take on this? And they basically say, well, we just avoid them. And some of younger guys, they just don't get it. They think, that it's bullshit. I'm 30. Why would they want to go with a 60-year-old? And they don't get it. It's business, right? And it doesn't mean that if you put the 60-year-old guy next to the 30-year-old guy, they're going to say, oh, the 60-year-old guy is really handsome. I don't want them. No, it's not about that. It's business, okay? They're supporting their families. And they look at the 30-year-old guy and they think, stud, going to be at it all night. I'm going to have to fight him for money in the morning, right? And they look at the 60-year-old. He wants a cuddle. He'll go to sleep after half an hour. He'll give me a tip. I won't even have to ask him for the money. Understandable, right? Okay, geezers, thank you. The GoPro fund, yeah. If you've just come in late, I'm saving up for a GoPro. I've decided to go really professional when I go out to Thailand in October. It's about £500 everything I want to buy, the GoPro, the clip and everything. And I've been doing a bit of e-begging tonight, saying give us a few pounds, go on, just to help me with a GoPro fund. I don't normally e-beg, but I am tonight. Okay, and geezers from North London, hi Peter, GoPro, 43 days till touchdown in Bangkok. 43 days. So you'll be going, let's work that out, 30 days. So we're in July, about 22nd. So let's say 5 weeks. We're in July, August. That's 34. Yeah, okay. So you're going around September, I guess, early September. Okay. Barry Bryant. Peter, I left school in 1993. They were still paying out the wages in small brown envelopes. And I had to give my dad £20 out of it. It was all cash as well. And you had to queue up to get it. Yeah, well, you remember it's. I'm surprised in 1993. Oh, that's nice. You know, it was different times back then. I don't want to be like an old fuddy-duddy where, back in the day and all that. But that's kind of cheeses me off with my wife as well, because my daughter works. And I said to my wife, look, take £50 a week off her. She can afford it. She's getting her laundry done. She's getting food. We run her to work. £50 a week. And my wife's like, oh no, she needs it. And oh Christ Almighty. All right, Keynote. A Thai bar girl I know didn't get paid by a young customer, so she put a high heel through the hotel TV. He had to pay. Yeah, good, well done. Right, Pulley Buffalo 55. The 6-year-old will forget he blew a load of money and will do it again. Look, most guys who go out to Thailand when they're sort of 50, 60, 65, they know the score. They've got money. They've worked hard all their life. And then most of them are very generous guys. I know guys who bar fine girls and they just want to cuddle. They just want a bit of company, they're divorced, whatever. And the girls are nice. At the end of the day, they do what they do. And I keep saying this time and time and time. I don't want to be repetitive. But they are nice, and they're not like people in the Western world who do that. They're nice girls. They're good fun. They're pleasant. They're a lot of fun to be with, but they're there to make money, and you got to understand that. And if you can get with the script, if you can understand that, you'll have a good time with them. But when you get into the realms of, well, I'm so good looking, why should I have to pay you? I mean, sickening, really. Right, Jolly Fox, Peter, for the GoPro fund, thank you for the hard work and entertainment. Yeah, thanks, Jolly Fox. I appreciate that, and that will go towards the GoPro fund, which I've just started up. Okay, Donald Peter says, stop judging Peter. Do you mean I should stop judging, or other people should stop judging me? Because I don't judge anybody. Right. Okay. Where's Appleyard says, half an hour at 60 must be some sort of athlete. Yeah, my trousers look like my ink pen has exploded in my pocket by the time I get out of the lift. Yeah, I hear you there. It's like the old joke, some guy, he said, yeah, I was only with her 20 minutes. I'm like, well, it takes me 20 minutes just to get my pants off, Right. Okay. That's a new name in the chat tonight. Is that Says Seatin? I hope I said that right. Hi, Peter from Oz. Airfares are too expensive at the moment. I'm thinking not many people are coming over. Yeah, I mean, there's a thing. I mentioned this earlier on in the stream. There's apparently there's going to be an influx in October. I'm booked the first week in October. I don't want to tell you the exact day because there are nutters out there. I don't want some nutter waiting for me with his Thai bar girlfriend at the airport, swinging something around. But no, you're right. And there is going to be an influx in October, apparently. And that'll be nice to see a lot of people there. Because when I was there in December, it was like partying in a graveyard. It was terrible. Right, Nick T, I had to have a word with a mate of mine. He's got his 25-year-old daughter and her girlfriend living with him, both earning $2,000 a month and not giving him a penny. It's wrong. It is. It's wrong. It is absolutely wrong. I mean, look, let's be a bit judgmental here, right? You have children, you bring them into the world, you do everything to bring them up, get them in school, you look after them. But, at the end of the day, they become adults. And why, I help my daughters, but, they've got to contribute. They really have. We're not rich. Right, check ban. Thanks for that. Small contribution towards Audio Vision Fund. Hope you found the video I sent you interesting. Absolutely, yes. I always watch everything I'm sent, and thank you for that. I forgot what I was going to say there, but yeah, I did. Thank you. Right. Okay, guys, don't forget to hit the like button for Peter. I see we have 340 watching, but still 340. I've had a few whiskeys, I've had a few beers. Oh God, coming up for 3 hours now. We'll do the 3 hours. We'll do the 3 hours. Okay, right. A monger with a bottle of Viagra, a nutter waiting for you at the airport would make a great video. It really would. It really would. I was actually a bit nervous when I went to Thailand because I hadn't been for 2 years. Cheers. I don't know if I mentioned this. I'll bore you with my little story, okay? So I'm a little bit paranoid anyway. And, you know, I started this channel when I was in Hua Hin. And when I left Thailand, I think I had 23 subscribers. Was it 23 or 24? It doesn't really matter. It's 23, 24. Could have had 25. I don't know. And I was stuck in the UK for 2 years. And all these kind of videos that I make now, they kind of came around by accident because people sent me in stories. And it became the Monga Friday night. I thought, what the heck, just go with it, you know. I mean, of all the channels to become a Monga channel, it's a guy who's a married man who runs it. But anyway, people sent me in, you know, people used to say to me, you want to be careful when you get to Thailand, you know, because these bar girls, you're giving all their secrets away. And, you know, I've seen bar girls hit guys on the back of the head with a Heineken bottle and smash it, you know, plenty of times for less. And I was actually a bit nervous. And I thought, well, there might be Farang out there who have been stung by bar girls, or they feel like, I mean, I've had guys write to me and say, oh, you're, what's the word they use? What am I? I'm like a kind of creep. Is it? No, it was worse than that. Not a creep, a degenerate. No, it was worse than that. What did he call me? I forget what he called me, but he had a Thai bar girlfriend wife, and he wrote this massive long email about how it worked out with her. And then he ended it by saying that I was a kind of leech I wasn't very nice because I talk about bar girls, but they're not my stories, right? So I was a little bit nervous when I went out there, and I kind of thought, like, you know, somebody might say something or attack me or something. But you know what? I went out there and it was great. People came up to me and said, "Oh, you're Peter from Thailand Band." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And no, they were great. The only thing that kind of cheesed me off a little bit was when I was sitting having breakfast. The food got put down, and someone had come along and say hello, and I said hello to them and everything. But my food's getting cold, and they're like starting a conversation with me, and I'm like, mate, my breakfast is getting cold, you know. But apart from that, you know, most people were quite nice. And I even met, this really, really tickled me to bits, right? When I was in Pattaya, I met a couple of bar girls when I was out with Trevor, and they've actually, they've got boyfriends in Pattaya. Though they work in the bar, they've also got boyfriends, if you get what my drift, right? They're regulars to certain guys. And these guys showed them the Nat and Dave videos, and they loved it. And there was one bar I went into, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Nat, good girl." You know, I was like, fantastic. All right, okay. Football 442. I will contact you in Bangkok in October and take you out or a night out in Nana. I will pay for everything and we'll drink. Don't worry about that. Football 442. I'm not one of those. You know, there's guys out there, they try and take advantage of their situation. They're freeloaders, and they're just out to kind of like, oh, you know, I'm on YouTube, I shouldn't pay for anything. I'm really not like that. I actually get shy if people, I really do. This is not bullshit. I get shy if people try to pay for everything for me. I don't like it. I insist on paying my way. So I met guys in Pattaya, but I didn't even know them. I didn't see them. They just come up to my table and put a beer in front of me and say, "Peter, right? Thailand Band." I say, "Yeah, why?" And they say, "That's for you. I enjoy your channel." And shook my hand. But, you know, I was in Carlson Road with Simon, and that exact thing happened. I was sitting in a bar, and with Simon, too noisy for me in Carlson Road, but I was sat there, and 2 big bottles of Leo came to the table, and the waitress pointed, and I thought, "Oh, who's that?" And I looked down, and hang on, and it was a Farang guy, a foreigner, and he had a half Thai girl with him, and I thought, "Wow, she's lovely." And I thought, he's lucky. Look at the age of him, and look at her. Anyway, it turned out it was his daughter. His Thai wife had gone somewhere. They hadn't fallen out or anything, but he'd sent up these 2 beers. And so I was all, "Cheers, thank you." I went down and spoke to him. "Where you from? Very nice to meet you." Blah, blah, blah. But when I finished, I ordered 2 Leos and I sent it down to them because I can't do that. You know, I mean, I appreciate your offer. If I see you in Bangkok, we'll have a few beers. But, you know, I'll pay my way, definitely. I don't know if Bob's still in the stream. I'll buy him a beer from. No, I'm only joking, Bob. That's for the GoPro fund, right? Oh my good God, Stephen. Oh my God, I'm going to be full of drinks and dinners when I'm there. I'll take you to dinner. Well, don't do the 100 baht trick. You know, every week I mention it. They go, "Guy, I'll meet me. I'll take you to dinner. Meet in Pattaya. I'll meet you. Take you to dinner." Had lunch with him. He said he was going to buy me lunch. He threw 100 baht. He said, "That's towards your dinner." I looked at it. I said, "Mate, I'll pay for my own dinner." Right. Okay. Donald Pearson. Yeah, Western women think we're creeps, but they don't think about what we're paying for everything. So what's the difference? I'll let you into a little secret. Well, it's not a secret. I'll tell you something now. I actually communicate with quite a lot of people. Do you like that word, communicate? I actually speak to a lot of people on this channel off here. So people will email me WhatsApp line. And I do have conversations with people. Some people I'll call them, or some people will say to me, "Look, I need to speak to you about," and they talk to me, right? And I have some interesting conversations with people. But I've actually spoken to several women, Western women, privately about this channel. And when I found out who they were, and I thought it's going to be shit, and I'm going to end up hanging up on her. And I've had some very intelligent women talk to me, and I've actually had, you won't believe this, but this is true. I've had women contact me and say, "Look, I watch your channel, I enjoy it, I know what it's all about. My husband died a year ago or 2 years ago, and I'm quite interested in going out to Thailand. I want to ask you something in a roundabout." And they're really, really shy. And it takes, we go left, right, forward, down, up until we get to the point she wants to go to. Then they finally come out and say, "Is it possible for me to go to Thailand and do what these guys do, but with a lady?" Honestly, guys. And I just say, yeah, go for it, and I try and help them out. Right. Chet Ban, you're talking to Clive. Peter is nearly the one I contribute to. He's only the one I contribute to, as he's built a nice community here. Well, thank you very much, Chet Band. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless, which is rare for me. Right, where's Appleyard? I got 110 Australian return airfare Bangkok Phuket. Not much more expensive than February. Yeah, well done on that. There are deals to be had if you look around. Scow Sandy, I haven't seen you in before. 57 days until I fly out again to Thailand. Yeah, I think a lot of guys in here tonight are all going out about the same time as I am in October. It's going to be really nice. I want to see it buzzing again. I've been going to Thailand. I keep saying this. I've been going to Thailand since 1991. Okay, I showed you a picture from 1995. I've showed you the stamp in my passport. So I've been going there for a long time. And I've never, ever known a situation like today, like it is at the moment, where, the Thais it's getting better, right? So let's not go on a downer. But, all this, the whole COVID thing. And I went there in December. I had 900 people in the stream when I went to Thailand, and it was COVID. I was sat in that hotel room, and I was all pixelated. It was a bad picture, but I had 900 people in the stream because they wanted to know what was going on. And I don't want to see it like that anymore. I want to go back and I want to see happy people. What makes me happy? I want to see the Thais making money. Okay, I really like to see the Thais making money. I want to see people having fun. I want to see it get back to normal. Okay, it sounds corny, but I mean it from the heart. I really do. I've been going to Thailand for so long. I really want the Thais to get back to how they were pre-COVID. Right, Pulley Buffalo again. My old landlady sold up her UK property empire and found herself a toy boy in Thailand. Not sure how it worked out. Well, she's probably broke now, and he's probably rich. Right, Clive. I've been probably working out for Thailand. Was originally working out to just look good for the wife on the beach, but haha, jokes on her now. I'm getting fit for bar girls now. Yeah, I'd like to get fit again. I really would. Jolly Fox, Peter, will you be back in Bangkok or Pattaya in February? Yeah, I think I will, because I'm trying to sell my house. I'm trying to move full time out there, but unfortunately, the market's not there at the moment. Everybody's nervous, and I think what I'm going to have to do is let's tuck this mic away. It's getting everywhere. Yeah, I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going out in October for 2 months. I'm coming back for December, New Year, and I think I'm going to go out mid-January again for another 2 months, and that's how I'm going to play it. I want to spend more time out there, but the problem is, I can't finance my life here, pay the bills here, and live full time out there and pay airfares and stuff. So I'm going to have to try and be a little bit of a cheap Charlie. Right, Scow Sandy says first time commenter. Yeah, that's fine. Good to have you in the stream. Okay, Ivan said, how do I become a YouTuber? Laugh out loud. Do you really want to? No, I mean, I'll just say one thing on this. I won't go on about it because not everybody wants to hear this. I'll just say, if you're thinking about making a YouTube channel, the people who fail are the people who say, I'm going to make a YouTube channel because I want to make money. I want to live in Thailand. I want to make money. Those people fail, okay? When I made my YouTube channel, I worked for 18 months like a job. I didn't make a penny, okay? And then it came. And now people come in here and they watch the super chats coming in. One guy, Bob, give me £50 tonight. And somebody probably watches it and think, oh, I'm going to make a YouTube. Look at this guy. He's got a fiver. He's got £10. This guy's paid him 50. He's raking it in. but you don't realize the work that goes into it. I'm not getting that because what I'm doing tonight, it's been built up over years. And if you want to start a YouTube channel, do it because you've got a passion. It doesn't have to be about Thailand. Just do what you like to do. You shouldn't worry about money. You should just enjoy it like a hobby. And eventually the money will follow if you do it properly. Check Bound. Here in the Czech Republic, girls are generally paid quite a bit less than men. It used to be like that in the UK. But most women I know here say it's fair because guys have to pay for the meals and drinks on dates. Just how is it here? Yeah, I mean, that's quite a good way of looking at it, really. It's all, you know, you wouldn't get away with it in the UK now. It used to be like that in the 60s, 70s, right up to probably the 90s. But it's all equal rights. And yeah, I mean, women should be paid as much as guys, I guess. Yeah, they should be. But then, you know, how does it work when you go on dates, like you quite rightly said? Canary spreads his wings, 33 days to go. Nick Frankel says, too many YouTubers have such a dull personality and do the same thing everyone else does. Well, you know, Nick, I don't disagree. I don't agree. I mean, I know a couple of YouTubers who I watch them and I like them as people, but I think, God, you're boring. But I don't know people. I see people come into my stream 2-3 weeks. I never see them again. You know, it might be because they've changed their shift, but I'm sure people come in here, look at me and think, God, this guy's talking about the same thing. He's really boring. And I try my best to make the competitions. I try to be lively. I hear you. I hear you. I know that some people just don't naturally have any charisma, do they? Well, they can't do anything about that. Soothing meditation. Women are just like us. They mostly are more discreet, saying that my second time in a windmill or Russian bird decided she would like to be on stage. Let's just say, no. Yeah, I mean, look, I won't read that all out, but I do agree with you. You've only got to go onto YouTube and put in there cheating wives caught red-handed. And there's all these clips where women are going with guys who they're married. And yeah, absolutely. They do. You know, they're not different to us. Donald Pearson, that's where we would spoil his time, right? It's really hard now because at this time of night, I'm getting comments from people talking to each other and I'm trying to find something that I can read out. Okay, well, this one we'll have to do. Deke the Trucker, I fly out from Glasgow. You're up in Glasgow, are you, Deke? I fly out from Glasgow on the 1st of September under 800 Emirates. Yeah, but the thing is, Deke, you're going to be stopping off in the Middle East, and I don't like doing that. But I do know people who do like doing that. Bob, for instance, in London, he likes doing it because, good point, he said, I fly for 6 hours. I get to the Middle East, I can walk around for 2 hours, and then I have another 5 hours or 6 hours. And some people like to do that, but I'm not like that. I like to get kind of slodged at the bar in the airport, get on board, have a few more drinks, and I'm out for 8 hours. And then, you know, they're sort of waking me up for the breakfast service 2 hours before we get there. Okay. Chetbound says, good memory there. I remember that 900 plus stream in the hotel room, Peter. You were fighting the COVID. Yeah. And some guy left a comment on Ed Sweeney's channel. He said, what do you think about Thailand Bound doing a runner from his hotel? You know the story. I didn't do a runner from the hotel. They didn't want me to stay there. And I self-isolated. But, you know, that's all right. Okay. Let's have a look. Yours Travel said, I might start uploading a few videos, but I do a huge mix of cruises, beach holidays, city breaks, but it would be more of a hobby. Well, you know what? Just go for it. I mean, what the heck? There's a lot of work involved, right? You don't just go, like, get your camera and go, hi, I'm on a cruise ship and upload it. It doesn't work like that. There's a lot of editing. I would say the editing is more than the actual filming, you know, the recording. But you know what? It's a hobby. You don't have to be Thailand bound. You don't have to be whatever bound. You just, you know, you're a traveler. You call yourself Yours Traveler. It's a great name. If you had a YouTube channel, call yourself Yours Traveler. It's a great name. And just start shooting videos, uploading them. If people like them, they'll watch you. If they think they're crap, they won't watch you. But, you know, if you do it for a few years, the most important thing I would say about YouTube, right, as I'm telling you this as someone who's gone through the mill, right, if you ever consider making a YouTube channel, right, forget you need fantastic lighting. Forget you need 4K videos. Forget you need a camera here and a camera there and a changer. Forget it, okay? You don't need that. Forget you need all singing or dancing. You don't need that, right? You need a mixture of a few things, right? you need to be heard at a reasonable level. You can hear me, right? £4.99 this costs, right? You need to be seen at a reasonable level without interference. £50 camera in front of me looking at you, I'm looking into, right? My broadband there's a cable in the back of the modem, so I've got a reasonable setup. I don't have lights everywhere and the camera coming here, camera coming there, I'm looking down. You don't need all that, right? What I would say, you need reasonable equipment, reasonable, right? Not people don't expect TV productions. That's not what YouTube's about. People want to. Why do you think I had 900 people watch me in that hotel room? It was all pixelated. The sound kept dropping out because they want to see what's going on during COVID. Okay, it's not about 4K high resolution. Okay, so forget that. The most important thing I would say, if you're thinking your travels of making a YouTube channel, the most important thing I would say to you is be regular, right? Some people start it, they do a video every day for 3 weeks, and then they get bored and they don't do anything for 3 months. Absolute license to fail. You're better off doing one 10-minute video once a week, twice a week, consistently. You do one on a Sunday, one on a Wednesday, and you do that every week, right? I once spoke to somebody who committed to doing some videos for me, and he didn't do them. And I said, look, we've got to get these videos out on once a week or once a month, whatever. And he's like, it's YouTube, they'll get over it. And I thought, no, it doesn't work like that. If you want people to be interested in your channel, you have to be regular. You can do a 10-minute video, that's fine, but you need to do it regular. And that's the best advice I can give to you. If you want to be successful on YouTube, be consistent. Right, Simon, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Right. Okay. Paul, Peter, how do you get background pictures for YouTube? How do you get background pictures for YouTube? What, you mean like the girls at the back? Well, believe it or not, there are free image sites. If that's your question, you can go onto YouTube and you can put in free images. A lot of them are a little bit scammy because when you go onto their site, they say they're 100% free, and then when you click on them, it's like $7.99 to download this. But you'll find sites like Upsplash, Pixels. This isn't, look, let's change it, guys. This isn't about, it's not how to make a YouTube channel, is it? But there are pictures out there, right? Okay. Football 442. I know you have money from retirement and so long, but all these YouTubers in Thailand who are 20 to 40 living dangerously life if they build their income on YouTube money. Well, no, yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying. What you're basically saying is, if you're living in Thailand and you're relying on YouTube as an income, it's a dangerous place to be because, yeah. Oh, my TV is going to go off. Hang on. Stop everything. This is important. I don't want to go off. Oh, is it going to go off? What's wrong with the controller? Hang on, guys. Oh, well, I'll have to. Oh, there we are. Caught it. Because it's on. I put it on before the stream and it goes off after a while. I'm on that screen. I'm looking at what you're looking at. So this is YouTube. I can see, all the message and stuff. But on there, I can see what you're seeing. So if it goes bad. But anyway, what were we talking about there? YouTube, guys doing YouTube to make it. There's a lot of guys in Thailand who are successful. They're making a lot of money. And I'm not talking about the guys who have got 40,000 subscribers. I'm talking about the guys, you know who they are. They've got 200,000 plus. You've got CB Media. He's got 400,000 subscribers. But I understand why. He's a petrol head. What he does is really interesting for a worldwide audience. So he deserves them, right? I look at channels who have got a lot of subscribers and I think, why? Why has he got so many subscribers? There's one guy I watch, and I've mentioned him lots and lots of times. I can't watch him because of his accent. Nothing against him. It's just not my sort of YouTuber. And I look at his numbers and I think, why has he got so many people in there? But back to what you were saying, the guys who are relying on so I wouldn't do that. I could go out to Thailand and live because I've got some properties I rent out, but it would be a very sparse living. I would be living, I'd have to be very, very careful. What YouTube does, it allows you to have a much better quality of life. But to be honest with you, I'm not on YouTube to kind of like, oh, I've got to do YouTube because I make money out. I actually like it. And when I go out, like people have said to me in the past, they said, when you go out to Thailand, just forget YouTube. We'll still be here when you get back. But I'm not like that. I'm thinking, oh, well, I'll go here, I'll do this, I'll film that. I actually really like it. I was a bit of a freak like that, but there you go. Right, Gemini Star. Danish Bacon, and I hope you haven't had any problems with the missus. All right. Okay. Broadcast Dave says, I subbed to CB Media when he had less than 10,000 subs, and then I got recommended to your channel. Okay, that's really weird because I can't imagine somebody looking at CB Media recommended you to it. I can imagine that Simon Lander Smiles because he tells stories. I can imagine somebody said, well, if you like his stories, there's another guy who does it. But, you know, good to have you in. Deke, Peter, does your house sell come with instructions on how to water the daisy? I tell you what, all joking aside, I had a guy, I'm not going to tell you where he was from, but he made such a ridiculous offer. Obviously, I didn't accept it. But I had a guy with his wife come around and look at the house, and he made such a ridiculous offer. He actually said it to me. He said, oh, can I make you an offer? And I said, well, normally you tell the estate agent. And he said to me, well, I just want to fill you out. Let me tell you what it is. And if it's a no-go, at least a no, and you might like it. And I said, well, go on then, tell me. The estate agent was in the toilet. So he said, well, would you accept? And he made such a ridiculous offer. And I thought, I've got to think of a clever way to say this. And I said, I thought about it. I said, mate, you do know the house is included with a double garage, don't you? And I could see his face. He just like died and went in a pit because it was so ridiculous. Right, Soothing Medication. There is a lady on Soy 11, has 1.6 million subs, and all she does is eat food. I mean, monster-sized dishes. She gets about 900k views of it. Yeah, I know. Look, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to build up my channel, but I'll be honest with you. I'll be really honest with you. I can't say I'm not jealous of some people. I am. And I'm not jealous in a nasty way, but I'm not going to name names. And if you put it up here, I'm not going to show your comment. But there's a girl in Pattaya who calls herself something about Pattaya, and she's got a guy in the background, right? She's obviously an ex-bar girl who's got some guy doing the channel for her. And all she does, she's out with a bunch of girls dancing on the beach. They go to a massage, and the title of the video. Oh, no, I won't say because it'll give it away. But, you know, they'll go to a gym and she'll say, well, we're going to watch Kun Nok do some exercises today. But the camera just happens to be focused on her backside as she's bending over. And she's got close to 100,000 subscribers. And, you know, you look at it and you think, I do feel a bit kind of like, wow, you know, not jealous, but you think, well, you know, maybe if I had a nice ass and I was female, I could double my subscribers. But, you know, that's just the way of the world, isn't it? You know, I mean, sex sells, doesn't it? Right. Okay, I'll put that up. I wasn't sure if that was a bit of a weird one, but Dickie Queenbank. Hello, everyone. Dickie Queenbank here. Hello, Dickie Queenbank. Right. Yeah, we've seen you. We've seen you. Okay, stop. That's enough. Right. Yeah, I mean, look, Stephen Forex says, I know what you mean. And always cute tigers. There was a girl. She was cooking food somewhere in Thailand, and she had a channel. A friend made a channel and filmed her, and all she did was a food cart, and she made food. But she wore really skimpy outfits, and she had a boob job. The cops made her stop it in the end, but she used to, you know, make all this Thai food looking really sexy, and she got a big following, you know. But you know, sex, it sells. There's no way around it. It does. Brian says, but does she have the Monga Minute? She probably doesn't need the Monga Minute, does she? Okay. Polly Buffer said, pretty much all the successful female streamers are hot girls who flaunt their bodies. More power to them. Yeah, I mean, how can I compete with that? You know, I have to work hard to get what I get, and I wish I had a nice pair of juggernauts I could flop out here and get, you know, 500,000 subscribers, but I haven't. That's it. Right. Dan Peters, start squatting and doing. Yeah, all right. Okay, I think, guys, we're pretty much there. It's been another good stream. It's just gone on over 3 hours. I'm not going to do a 4-hour one tonight. Look, guys, to all of you who've come in tonight, thank you very much for the super chats, loads of them. That they will all go on the GoPro. I'll let you know next week how I'm getting on. As always, tomorrow there are 3 really, really good stories. They're really good. The reason there's 3 is because they're quite long, all of them. So I'll try and release them about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, 10:30 UK time, whatever time I get up. And I might do a stream on Sunday at 7 o'clock. See how I feel. I don't want to make any promises. I'll try and get young Edward, see if he can do it. Hang on. What's going on here? There we are. My line just popped up. Someone's obviously contacted me. Yeah, I'll try and get Ed on it, but I don't hold your breath. He's a bit elusive these days. So stories tomorrow. Maybe a live stream on Sunday. If not, definitely one on Friday. Thanks to you guys. A great stream tonight. Over 400 in for most of the night. Thanks for the spanner guys in the background, Frankel and Damien. What else is there to say? I'll see you next Friday if I don't see you on Sunday. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.